The session today is a result of studying the internet for 15 years for real estate brokers and salespeople. There is no way I can cover everything that has happened in 15 years. Are we rolling, Gary? There's no way I can cover everything that we've learned in 15 years. It would take days and weeks to kind of learn it all. But what we have done is crammed it all down into a 3-hour session here for you today. Okay, pulling all the best things out of the internet, and also to make you wise about the pitfalls of the internet. The internet is like a highway, and if you were to get on a highway with your car and just start driving without any training, you can easily get into an accident. And what I have found from also being a real estate broker, and I'll be more suitably introducing myself here in a minute, is that you can get into a lot of problems driving a car if you don't know what you're doing. Even when you know what you're doing, if you're inattentive, you can get into major problems. And the internet is that way too. So we're going to be covering some of the problems that are on the internet with the idea that each of you, if you're wise to the problems of the internet, then you won't get yourselves into trouble. You can keep your family members out of trouble. You can keep all your prospects and clients out of trouble. You're going to see what I'm getting at in a moment. So what we're going to be bringing you today are the tools of the internet from working with real estate people for 15 years, one-on-one. We presently have 1,000 members. I'm ready to start the session now officially, and let's get started. Today's session is going to be, the first thing I want to do is cover a lot of the things on the internet that save you time and save you money. And one of them, a really neat one, is the one here that, let's see if we can start playing with these screens and whatnot. In your kit on this internet worksheet, the reason that's here is because I can't cover every one of these services today in detail. I could spend, just on that first one alone on Skype, I could spend an hour here just talking about that one service. It's so exciting. But does anybody here, maybe near the front row, have a business card with a cell phone on it? Just somebody can give me a business card with a cell phone. You got a cell phone? Number? Oh, you're looking for matches over there. Somebody's got a business card with their cell phone number on it. Anybody? Thank you so much. I'm going to call it now with Skype. And now, what I'm demonstrating here, let's see if we can do this nicely, is that you can be any place in the world and do this. You can be in another country. I'm going to click on my Skype button. You could be in Portugal. I was in Portugal for 1 month, and I'm using some of these services that I'm about to show you. Let's see if we can get this going. And you can make worldwide phone calls absolutely free. That should be one of the first things you put on your internet worksheet. Skype.com. And let's just give it a shot here. I'm going to put it in, let me see this. Numbers 905 728. That's not the same. I'm sorry. Thank you. The 449? Okay, I got it. Appreciate it. Anything that anybody can do to help me in the seminar, please speak up. I appreciate it. Now, I'm going to be speaking from my computer. I could put my earphones plugged into the computer, but I'm going to speak to my computer.
You have reached the voicemail box of
Realtors.
Okay.
At the tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, you may hang up or press pound for more options.
Now, Bill, I know your cell phone was on. The reason you didn't get it is you're in a room where the signal's being blocked, but at least you got a message being taken.
You told me to turn it off.
I told you. Turn it back on. Please.
Turn it back on?
Oh yeah, I wanted it on. Sorry. If I said turn it off, that's... Oh, at the beginning of the session.
Yes.
You actually turned it off or put it on? No, I said turn on vibrate. Vibrate's fine. In fact, if you have iPhones and cell phones and everything, if you have it on vibrate, you can, even during a session, you can see what's going on. And I'm a multitasker, so if you want to say, well, can't talk to you right now, I'm in a session, you can actually text that right while you're listening to this. You can be doing both at the same time. Let's try it again. Is it on now? Okay, let's give it a shot. I want to talk to you. Let's see if it works. From any place in the world. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me talking?
Yes, I can.
Oh, this is perfect. Listen, this is a test to demonstrate in the class how you can make worldwide phone calls absolutely free.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. Thank you very much for helping me.
Are you thinking of buying or selling a house?
That's good. I love it. I love it. So,
That's not absolutely free, is it?
okay, let's explain what is free and what isn't free. Skype to Skype is absolutely free. If you're calling a landline, then it might be 2 cents a minute, 3 cents a minute, something like that.
Or it's $8 a month. I use it
Or,
internationally for
okay,
China.
tell me, just stand up and just mention $3 a month.
Now, I call China every day because we've got a resort in Taiwan.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing?
So I use Skype to Skype, but if I was to use my cell phone, I pay a flat fee of $8.
There you go. There you
That's
go.
it. That's all.
So it's one way that you can make phone calls absolutely free.
But Skype to Skype is free. That's the best way to do it.
Okay, now the next service we're going to go to is a service called Magic Jack. Has anybody ever heard of that? They're all over the place. Has anybody got it? Okay, now how many people are using this little Magic Jack device? Anybody using it on a regular basis? Okay, now the advantage of Magic Jack, let's see if we can just do this. By the way, do you see all of these symbols up at the top there? Okay, see all of those right up there? I've got this one I'm demonstrating on this. Can everyone from that back of the room see this? This okay? We got special high demonstration projectors here today to make sure that the people at the back of the room can see it. Those little symbols are in a little favorites bar. The new Windows Vista and the Windows 7 has a favorites bar. The old Windows Internet Explorer has a links button. Everybody should be using it. Links, you should mark it down. You can go into links into the help and say links. And that means that all of your favorite links that you go to every single day are right there. Now, I happen to have one of them is one of my websites. If I click on it, let's just see. Bingo, it comes right up. I didn't have to type in the www. I didn't have to type it in. How many people here are great typists? Not many of us. Okay? So, if you can set it up as a little links bar, look at that. If I want to go to Hotmail, I just click right on it. You'll notice down here it's working. And you can see how things come up very, very quickly. And there's my little spam arrest button. And I've got all kinds of things in here. So write down links or favorites bar. Get it working, people. It's going to save you time the rest of your life. Okay, now let's go into these other services. And to show you what that links bar can do, it can open several pages at a time. I've clicked on that one. I'm putting that for Oshawa. I have a number of different links and websites to show you today. So instead of me having to type them in, I put them all into that little links bar right there. And watch what happens. In fact, I'll do this on both screens because it's kind of neat. Let's just see if we can do that. Click on that there. Whoopsie daisy. Go down to the bottom and open in tabs. And watch all of the tabs opening up all at once. That could be all the different services that you go to on a regular basis. Right? So they all open up in one fell swoop. So concepts, ideas of how to do things on the internet are neat if you're using them. It's kind of like having a great new model car, but you don't know all the tools. Now, some of those windows that got open are demonstrating something already. Let's see if we can find out which one it is. It's not that one. That I don't need today. Magic Jack. I think it's this one. Magic Jack. There we go. You simply plug this into any computer and plug your phone into right there. And $50 a year, unlimited phone calls back and forth.
Even to a cell phone in the UK?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It depends on if you call, whoever gets charged for cell phones in those countries. In Portugal, it's 42 cents a minute if you call a cell phone. You get charged for calling them. Okay? So, But if it's free to call somebody and they can receive a call free, you can make calls free around the world absolutely free. And we have someone nice enough to speak up about that you're using it on a regular basis. Another way. Now, would I give up the Bell Canada lines right away? I'm going to suggest no. And you're going to say, why, Gary? Well, I think you can get this and then test it out for yourself. See what the problems are. Do you ever get a busy signal trying to make a call?
Not very often.
Not very often.
Yeah. And my Skype is, it's instant, instantaneously. There are times in the day that I can't get through because they might be asleep. But for here, for the Magic Jack, my son-in-law works for the U.S. Air Force, and he travels all across the world.
He's all over the world.
He's all over the world, so we just plug it in and dial it because he doesn't have a cell phone when
Okay.
he's on base. And I haven't been charged yet, but I still have my Bell Canada line.
Okay, so we keep the Bell Canada line in some cases, but use this for maybe long distance, because I've dialed in once in a while and I get network busy the odd
Do
time.
you? I don't know.
Network busy, I've had Skype calls that have dropped, so that's the little bit of a trade-off. But if you've got family members and other people, or you want to call back home and you're traveling, you're in the Dominican, you want to call, there's a way that you can log in and kind of do these kinds of things nicely. Okay? Another one here is a service called Vonage. This is pretty exciting. It comes with, there's several ways to use Vonage. One of them that I used was a little router. This router, I took it with me to Portugal, where we were there for a month, and we plugged it into high-speed access. And I got a 416 number. You can have a 905 number. It goes with the router. You take it with you, plug a phone into it, plug it into the internet, and you have a dial tone. When somebody dials 416 and dials that number, no matter where you are in the world with this router plugged in, you could be at your cottage, you could be in Florida, you could be in Europe, it rings just normally, just like if I had a phone right here and you can talk. The best news of all is when you pick up the phone, you get a dial tone, and when you dial it, it's exactly as if you are dialing from your own local calling area, no matter where in the world you are. If it's Toronto, it's as if you're dialing from the 416 area code, even though you're in Huntsville, Florida, Vancouver, Europe, India, any place at all. Isn't that amazing? So these are the tools of the internet that are coming our way, and they're here now. They're working now. It's a case of us starting to learn how to kind of use them, to start to try them out. Okay, let's go on to this one. Yes, question?
If Skype is free, or $8 a month, why would you use the Magic Jack for $50?
Sometimes having a little router with you, you might not have, you know, if you go into a hotel, okay, and stay in a hotel, it's nice to have that little router, okay, to plug in. You might not have a computer, so you could travel with the router, believe it or not, and take it with you.
So where do you plug the router if not into a
Well, in my hotel room, in this hotel, which is a great hotel, it's just, people are tremendous, making you feel at home. I just plugged it into the internet access. And then boom, you're going. Now, there's different, the best thing to do is you simply mark these down on your internet workshop sheets, mark down the website address, and check them out. Some of you have different applications depending on how you do business. Each of these can help you service those needs in a different way. Another thing that you can do with Goldline now, I use it as well. It's another service. You pay X amount of dollars. I paid $50 on account. If it gets below 10, it charges up. It stays there. It's sort of like the Tim Hortons card. If you have the card, it stays there, and then it recharges itself if you want it to. And so you can dial into this network Goldline, and when you dial in, you get a dial tone. When you get the dial tone, you can dial any place in the world at like 2 cents a minute. It's very, very inexpensive. So let's start with how many people here have a cell phone that they can call local calls free after 6 or 7 at night and on weekends? Virtually everybody. So that means you can call into a local number into Goldline, okay? Keep in mind, you're calling people at different times of the world, depending on where they are. You call in there, and you can actually dial in free, and when you dial, I don't care if you dial Hong Kong, you can be speaking from your cell phone for 2 cents a minute. Isn't that incredible?
To another
A local call. You're going to dial from your cell phone to a local number, the gold line number.
Right. But even if you're talking to someone in, say, the UK on their cell phone, which would cost you normally 39 cents a minute.
If it costs you to dial in, you're still going to have to pay that. Whatever, if I'm in Portugal, if people get charged to call me, you're still going to get charged.
No, if I'm phoning them,
Yes.
if I take my cell phone now and phone the UK
Yes.
cell phone, it
Yes.
costs me 39 cents a minute, say.
Because of your company's charging you to call them.
Yeah.
Because that company's charging them. Is that correct?
No, I don't know. No, it's Rogers charging.
Well, if there's no charge to call, can that person receive a call free? Like if you're in the UK and you make a local call to his cell phone,
It would be free.
it's free, you're going to be able to call them free. Okay? It's tricky to kind of think this thing out, but the point is, you can call a local number, you can call it from a regular landline, okay, and dial in. You can get these phones designated, so it makes it shorter keystrokes to kind of dial all these people. And I use this gold line. You can actually get it local numbers in many countries of the world. So if you were traveling, if you were in Las Vegas or Florida or California, you can dial into a number and then you can call back to Canada. You can do that. And again, that's like 2 cents a minute to dial back to Canada from the United States. And if you're doing that on a regular basis, why not? If you have a question, go ahead.
Where do you get this number that you dial into?
You can dial it from any phone. It's an account that you would get with Goldline. You get the account with them.
You have to,
Okay, and then they have numbers that they'll give you that you can call in from all over the world. Okay? Again, just mark it down, goldline.net. Mark it down onto your internet worksheet, and you can kind of go study that on your own time. If you want to know where to see these numbers listed, you'll see another website address down here called iciworld.net. It'll come up there right down at the bottom. If you mark down that, contact, all of those services are listed on that page. Okay, let's move along. Now, who am I? Let's just look at this here, and we can kind of close this screen up here. Open this up and continue on. There we go. Okay. Now, who am I? Gary Nuska, CCIM, and an AMP. I started in real estate in 1972, so I've been in the business 37 years. How many do we have more than 37 in the room? We've got a few. Here we are. I enjoy growing old with everyone together and enjoying it. They say we never really retire in business. We just sort of keep growing and fade away, but we don't even fade away. We keep active. That's the beauty of real estate. You can do it as long as you want. And we have some special services for, I call it retired brokers, even though retired brokers don't even sometimes call themselves retired. But, and then you'll see that you just do referrals, and there's a way to generate them. But one of the reasons, how many people here do 100% residential only? How many people here do at least 10% commercial? Okay, how many people here do a great deal of commercial? Okay, so we have in the audience a few that do strictly residential. Now, residential people can do referrals on the commercial properties. The commercial agents can do referrals on the residential inquiries. So in actual fact, every one of you can do commercial and residential, because if you get a commercial lead and you're a residential agent, you simply say, I'll have someone call you back. You call the other agent, say, I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral commission okay with you? I'm going to start to open up your minds that there's one thing that is better than listing and selling real estate. What is it? Referrals. Yeah, why? 5 minutes to do, and it can make you $3,000 to $10,000 and more for 5 minutes. Now, the reason why, what do you think the reason is why brokers and salespeople don't do more referrals?
They don't know how to.
Sorry?
They just don't know how to work the
Don't know
system.
how to?
And they don't
I
know how to
agree.
work the system properly.
What else? I'm going to suggest that the reason is that you simply don't get the leads. If you got the leads, if you say, geez, I got a person who's just selling a commercial property in Hyde Park in Toronto. If you got anybody, can you list and sell it, or have you got somebody? Can you not do a referral to a broker in that area? And say, listen, if you can list and sell it, it's a 25% referral commission okay with me. So it's a case of getting the leads. Today, I'm going to show you a switch that you can turn on that literally is like starting to get leads off the internet periodically. And it's very, very exciting. You used to, eh? There you go. Just so happens, eh? Now, in the 37 years I've been in the business, I also sold residential real estate and commercial real estate, averaged about maybe one end a week on an average selling residential. And then I got into the CCIM program, and I'm going to suggest that everyone mark this down, ccim.com. And what's special about this, it gave me the tools to be able to go and deal in commercial real estate. And there is a course, a 2-day introduction course coming up at in Toronto. And I'm going to see if I can get you the details on this course. It's 10 RICO points. We've already covered that. Let's cover this. Here we go. There they are, all opening up. And in fact, I think I'll even make it on this side too, so you can see what's going on. All these websites are opening up. So ccim.com, you should mark down. It's an educational program that leads to a commercial real estate professional degree. And there's the one, actually, there it is, the CCIM Institute. Now, there's also a local chapter called the CCIM chapter. We meet at the Toronto Real Estate Board every month and have excellent speakers and events coming up. If I was to click on events, by the way, that chapter address is ccimcanada.com. And you'll see that there's an introductory course here to commercial real estate coming up. And there's what it's all about. Now let's go down so we can get the price there. $350. They're RCE credits. It's a question of how many. They're not sure if they're getting 8, 10, or 12 credits for this 2-day course. Now, what's so good about this course? Well, I'm suggesting that every single licensed real estate salesperson take this course. Why? Well, part of the competition in the business today is, let's say you're talking to a person that has a net worth of $300,000 or more. He's got money to invest. And the stockbrokers are calling him all the time. They've identified him as having a good net worth. In my opinion, the competition isn't really with each other in the room. It's sometimes with these stockbrokers. Because they're calling up these doctors and whoever has this money and says, listen, why don't you put $50,000 into this stock? And as you and I know, 90% of the millionaires made it where? In real estate. So these people are calling these net worth people, and that money's going into the stock market, and you know what happens there, when really they should be involved in selling in real estate. So if you're a residential salesperson, you need just a couple of tools, a couple of little tools that can be learned in this course to show where the money goes into a little investment and how the money comes out. What happens to that property during the term of the hold? What happens to the mortgage? How to create the mortgage? How does that property depreciate the income during the hold to shelter the income? Things that the stock market can't do. So a little 2-day course, intro course, is going to show you how to come up with a spreadsheet that shows how all the money goes in, all the money comes out. And that picture becomes a tool for you. It's a tool. So that you can talk to people and say, listen, I've got a triplex here, a duplex, and you should be investing in real estate. Here's how it works. You put X amount of dollars down, get a mortgage, he's going to take a small second. You keep it during the term of the hold. You show them how to manage it and keep it occupied. And then after 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years, if you want to sell it, assuming such and such, increase, if you even want to make it flatline, you can, because don't forget, the tenants are paying off the mortgage. And I'm telling you now, it's much better than anything that's going on at the banks and the stock markets right now. The number one solid, secure area that CMHC is lending high ratio mortgages to is to residential. And that includes apartment buildings. Because people that have a lot of money like to spread their risk. And it's better to spread their risk over maybe 100 people in an apartment building than to 4 tenants in a shopping center. So financing is actually easier to get nowadays than ever before for residential. So how can you have these tools? You take that 2-day course and you go to ccimcanada.com and you can learn all about that particular course. I recommend it. Okay, let's move on here. I also happen to be an AMP. It was a fairly easy thing. How many people in the room are AMPs? Anyone? It's actually an easy designation to get once you've been a broker. And it's a lot of the same questions that you take right in your regular sales person's license when you get your license. And it's not that hard to get, and it can become another source of income for you. Okay, so keep that in mind. I actually don't package deals myself, but I get leads that I forward on to other brokers. So you can co-broke deals with other brokers. And I get leads from these, from the service, and help to do financing. Okay, I think we can close all that out there. And go back to, let's go back to there. Okay, so since 1992, I've been developing services for real estate people to help them network information to generate business. And today, we actually have over 1,000 members, and even though I've been a licensed real estate broker and salesperson, I'd like everyone in this room, and the world for that matter, to know that I'm an assistant to each and every one of you. Please consider me as a personal marketing and information assistant. The same way someone might specialize in a certain kind of property selling, I'm specializing, I've chosen to specialize in helping salespeople like yourself, and I appreciate the opportunity to kind of serve you. So think of us that way. Our service has become one of the largest communities now on the internet. Why am I here today? Well, I'm here to help each and every one of you make money. I'm here to help you to provide a great service to the public and to help establish and maintain real estate brokers and salespeople as the leaders in the information business, because it's being chipped away at. I'm going to show you in a moment. I'm going to go to Google now. Let's see if I can just bring this up on this screen and go back to this one here. And I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to show you what's happening out there in technology. And I'm going to type in for sale by owner. In fact, let's type it for sale by owner Oshawa. And you see services coming up, and one of them happens to be from thepropertyguys.com, who are doing quite a neat job. I'm going to show, actually, do I have some more links here? Let me just see. I do. Actually, I do. Let's open up those tabs. Okay, stay with this one for the moment. Now, if I was to do, say, find a property, and I click on find a property, you notice I've already put Canada, Ontario, Oshawa in the property. And I'm going to click on, in the search form, pardon me, and I'm going to click on search. And up comes a property. There's some right there, quick search. Some of them have been sold. And then this one for, say, $1.2999. The first thing, you know, we're concerned about this, but for sale by owners, are they not a good source of leads? Everything's right there. You can see the price. You got the names of the, like everything's there. This is a source of leads. I personally would welcome it. They're making it easier for you to identify opportunities for you to market real estate. So let's click on more info. And I'm going to show you the technology that these people are using. And by the end of the session today, you will have tools, if you so wish, to compete with the best technology that's out there on the internet. I'm going to be showing you tools that you can kind of get. And there's other tools out there that some people are already using. And you'll notice, watch this, we're going to go down the page a little bit, and you can click on download. You can click on the 360-degree tour, and you can see all the photos. We're already in this room, we know all that. I'm not going to go in and show those in the essence of time. But what I did want to do is go down the page just a little bit, And they had a link on here. Oh, they do have this one here, which is really neat. In other words, if somebody wants to listen to the presentation, they can click on it.
114 Conquerors Cove Road. Don't miss this amazing opportunity to own a beautiful executive home on the shores of the
Isn't it interesting?
This bungalow home was designed so all main rooms look out onto the lake. Large windows throughout the home provide amazing views of a lot of life.
Okay, that's one little thing that they're doing. Let's just move up here. There is a, they notice, okay, maybe they have it in here. I will go into this particular, load these pictures up here. Because they have a virtual tour of the actual street that the home is on. And I thought it was really neat what they did. Photos all through here. Okay, so they don't have it on this one. And I took a chance to do that one, but we'll just see if we can pick another one. Hang on a second. You keep the commission, here we go. I'm going to show you how to deal with these people as well. Can I not get it? Find a property. Let's do the map search. Oopsie daisy. Do the map search. There we go. And this is a 360 degree, as if you were standing on the front lawn of the property. Let's just click on it. Okay, let's just click on this one here. Click for the full listing. And so this, yes, we have, it's called the Google Street View. Now, you tell me if this isn't incredible. There it is. That's the street in front of the house. Isn't that amazing? How many people have seen this before? Okay. How many people have not seen this before? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Now, this is the kind of technology that we're all competing with. How many people have this working on their own website right now? Anybody? Okay, so we know about it. We have one over here doing it. Excellent. I might even call that address in a little while just to show it just for fun. Okay, so those are the kind of things that are happening out there. Let's go to another by owner, for sale by owner, and you can see what some of these other companies are doing. So in other words, they're getting to these people to, you know, try to save the commission. Do they really save the commission in the end? We're going to talk about that in a minute. I'm going to delete that. Now, there's ways that you can deal with this. I know Bill Gates says that the internet helps achieve what he calls friction-free capitalism by putting the buyer and the seller in direct contact with each other. The buyer and the seller in direct contact. You have a home for sale for $150,000, and I'm going to buy it for, I don't want to give you more than 110. And I come in and I mention that to you. What do? You get your back up. At first, you can be cordial, say, no, I'm. But after a while, doesn't that become an antagonistic session between you and the buyer when you're trying to negotiate? Is that a possible situation? People get turned off on each other? And that's why major corporations, they deal with their employees all year long, and then when it comes up for contract renewals, they need a mediator. That's what we become. We become mediators to help people get together. That becomes a strategy, an advantage that we offer. There's many other things we offer, and there they are on the screen. Oops, easy. Let's do it this way here. Sorry, couldn't see it on that side. This is a gentleman, Mark Argentino. He puts good reasons to use a real estate agent when selling. And he lists them. And this helps refresh you, remind you that you're offering very real services that people need to help market their properties. I had a gentleman, the very first listing appointment I ever went on in 1972, a fellow named Ollie. And we went to a farm to try to list his property. And Ollie went in, we sat down, and we listened to the farmer for 1 hour. Ollie didn't say a thing. Yeah, oh, is that right? That's it. At the end of 1 hour, the farmer says, what can you do for me? And Ollie says, well, and the long sum and the short of it was, would you mind having a motorcycle gang come and look at your property while you're in the fields plowing and she's at home by herself? In other words, you're getting strangers coming to the house. When you list with a real estate salesperson, you protect the family to make sure that that sale goes smoothly, goes properly. There's a lot of pitfalls in marketing a property that people don't think about until they have problems, and then they say, uh-oh, and then it's too late. Gary, you guys were right. I should have put that in my pocket. Okay, let's move on. At Realtor.com, there's a lot of good information that you could be putting on your own website. Why use a realtor? There's all the reasons right there. Assists in your home search. You can miss selection in the process by providing objective information about each property. Due diligence during the evaluation. You don't get taken in. Understanding the difference in financing options. How is the purchaser going to discuss their financing options? You know, how are they going to figure out what's their best? Sometimes they can have solutions to some of the things, but they can't have solutions to all of them. When they do, the odd one goes through, but I think something like 87% of the residential real estate is sold through realtors. They might start out as for sale by owners, but they eventually go with a realtor. There's companies here, investment companies, that help people buy properties. Should I use a real estate broker? How do I find one? Using a real estate broker is a good idea. All the details involved in home buying, particularly financial ones, are mind-boggling. So a good real estate professional can guide you through the entire process, make the experience easier, etc., and it goes on and on. So all of these things are tools for you to help deal with these for sale by owner services. Okay, actually, that one, go back to here. Okay, let's move on. We've covered all that. You can put the reasons on your website. Now, today we're going to show you the ultimate in marketing, and it's realtors with technology, and it's the power of an industry. I'm going to show you that's one thing that for sale by owners do not have, and that is that if you had your home on every one of these other salespeople's websites, in other words, you agreed to allow your listing to be on all these websites, that gives you 1,000 more entries to the internet. When people go in there and spot a home that they like and it happens to be yours, bingo, you get the call. Whereas they only have one entry to the internet. That's a big difference. And that's why I call it the power of an industry. We have the power of an industry to network. It's a network. In 1995, less than 2% of the people were using the internet in 1995. ICI World, we were actually on the internet in 1994. In 1994, if you did a search in Alta Vista, there was no Google at that time, you got 14 results worldwide for the word, 3 words, and I'll just use them, commercial real estate. That's it. And let's see if I can go from here. Can I go from here? Yeah, I'm going to do it right here. Let's try it. And today, the internet actually just surpassed, you'll see the date of this, March 23rd, 2010. I'll do it on both screens here. Well, we do have it. That the internet has just surpassed TV watching for the first time. Isn't that amazing? Now, it's true, some of the things that they're watching, believe it or not, are TV. They're watching TV through the internet. Okay? So these are the things that you can do nowadays. But one of the things I wanted to show you, let's just see if I can do that here. I'm going to go to Google. And I'm going to type in commercial real estate, in this case, using it as an example. And you'll see how many results come up on the page. You see that up there? How many does that say? It's somebody out loud. Million. 66 million results. You know, how do you compete with things like that when you're up against these services? But if you go down the page, you'll see different various services. And who does that happen to be right there? That's right here. That's right here. Now, I'm going to show you how that can make each and every single one of you some money someday. If somebody searches real estate, chances are they could end up searching all the ones on the first page. Would that be a fair statement? There's 1.7 billion people on the internet. They get on there and they might search all the front page, maybe the first 1 or 2 pages. And when they click on it, I'm going to start counting number 1. 1 click. Now, if they're looking in the Oshawa area, what would they click on next? Canada. That's 2 clicks so far. And if they go to Canada, what would they click on next? Ontario. Now, if they were searching by city, they could search in many different ways, but let's say they were searching by city and clicked on it. And then they clicked on Oshawa. Literally, within 5 clicks and 30 seconds, no matter... Oopsie daisy. I will put that in my pocket this time. They did warn me. So, thanks guys. I'm ready. There we go. Thank you. Within 30 seconds and 5 clicks, if you had your information here, they could be calling you from no matter where in the world they are and no matter where you're located. I have members all over the world, and this 5-click, 30-second search works for everybody. So we facetiously say a little bit that you can be an agent, but if you have a commercial property and you don't put it on here, you're a secret agent. I kind of joke around. You can see how the internet has that kind of power. And we, in your catalog, in your kits here, I've got to show you, if you can open it up, you're going to see a thick bundle of paper at the back. And you say, what the heck is this thing? Well, it happens to be about 40 pages, 50 pages of testimonials. Literally amongst the most deals going on the internet right now. And the reason we put it there is because I don't think anyone else will tell you about this, of all the deals that are going on. Because most of the brokers on our service go about their business very quietly. They get a call, they qualify the people, get them in the office, show a property, go off and do a deal. I don't even know what's going on. So in other words, the calls are direct to you. When it's just like classified ads in a newspaper. If you could advertise in the Toronto Star every single day of the year, absolutely free, would you? That's what this service is all about. In other words, our service is $240 here, but and it's unlimited ads, and you're reaching a world market. How many people know about it? Believe it or not, everything's still growing out there. People are still learning about these things, and this will show you all the deals we've done. I'll take one moment to mention one more thing. A lot of it is still boiling down to business relationships with people. You can take all the computers you want. Real estate is still one of developing business relationships with people. And so you might have someone call you on one ad that does not suit them. And so you discuss something else not on the service, and you go off and do a deal. 44% of the deals one recent month were done that way on this service, where the call was triggered to you, they discussed something not on the service, and went off and did a deal. So that shows you the power of, and that's right from Google. And we're going to be showing some search engine optimization here for you too, for people that have their websites. Okay, let's move on. All right, we have. Let's see if we can get this over further. I think that's as far as it goes. There it is. Unleash the TV in your PC. Now you might want a dedicated PC to do this. Does anybody have TV on their PC, like on their personal computer yet? Anybody in here yet? It's coming. It's coming, and it's getting better. You can choose the programs that you want. And the way the charges, do you think these charges are up over $100, $120 a month for your free cable and all of that kind of stuff? It's getting kind of expensive for some people. Some people are doing it. And also the convenience of, the things that you can see and watch, that kind of thing. So you can actually watch thousands of programs, and it's all about that. And if you wanted to see what that is, streamandwatch.com, and there's dashes in the middle there. Okay, now I'm going to close that. Close that. Yep, let's close it. Let me go back here. Okay. this seminar today. That 96% of people who are searching for real estate are searching for listings. If you have a website that has 20 listings on it, and maybe you have a website that has 20,000 listings on it, which website is more likely to get calls? The one with the 20,000. So you examine your own website now. Does it have a lot of listings? Today I'm going to be showing you a solution to have 20,000 listings with one button. I'll be showing you that today. It's amazing. It's all the more important because to trigger that call, people are searching the internet, searching for listings. 74% of them choose the first broker or salesperson that they can develop a business relationship with. So if you're kind of late, by the time this person maybe might call 8 brokers, if you get back to them and he's already decided on one broker because he developed a business relationship, the first one that can establish a business relationship with a new prospect has the best chance of selling that property. Now, today there are over 1.7 billion people using the internet and growing. And I think, since I even did this, it's gone to 1.8 billion, but we're going to see it here in a minute. So there's some internet usage statistics. And we'll start with the number of people in the world. Can you see that? Anybody say that number out loud? How much? 6.7 billion people in the world. And over here, you're going to see in the third column, it says Internet Users Latest Data. And you're going to see the different countries, different continents, pardon me. And you're going to see down here, the world total using the Internet now is how many? 1.8 billion people. Now, what's exciting about that is that any one of these 1.8 billion people can land on your website. They can connect with you. That's amazing. It's never been done in the history of the world, of mankind. And to be able to have somebody, any place in the world, click on a button and see all about you. The properties that you have. And the connections that are being made are absolutely fantastic. You read some of the stories in those testimonials that I'm giving you. A man from the United Kingdom contacted Ron Tomlin in Hamilton, Ontario off his website. And he bought a property. And right away we said, oh, can you buy a property from the United Kingdom? Well, he really liked this property. But he couldn't inspect it. So he had his father-in-law from Oakville go look at it. He went and looked at it, says it's every bit as good as a picture, because you know and I, that you can look at a picture, you get up close and the paint's peeling and everything, or it's really nice. You don't know from the picture 100%, do you? He had his father-in-law go look at it, it was good. He bought the property from the United Kingdom. We have brokers in Eastern Ontario. One of them had a $4.5 million apartment building. Couldn't get anybody from Toronto to go look at it. He got a call from somebody offshore. He sent him an AACI appraisal of the property along with all the details. That's pretty competent. Good service. The man made an offer, got it accepted, conditional on due diligence for 2 weeks. As soon as it got accepted, he hopped on a plane and came over. Removed the condition, broker, made commission on $5 million for the real estate. Offshore. Now, why should this be important for you? Well, Canada has a unique status in the world today. It's a very favored nation. In the United Nations, we have finished number 1 or number 2 as one of the most, or one of the best places in which to move to and to live. For our civil rights, listen, we've got running water, we've got police forces, we've got all this good stuff that we take for granted, medical and everything else. And so people are looking here, and it's a safe haven for money too, to invest. So the prices, or what's happening in real estate, the population, the population in Canada would actually be going down if it wasn't for immigration. Immigration is averaging about 250,000 people a year. A good percentage of them are coming into the Toronto area. And where prices are higher, they're spreading out right away. They're going 1, 2, 3 hours away. And you're right in a hot spot. You're in a good spot. You've got good schools, you've got good hospitals, you've got good roads, you've got community centers. The kids go, you take the kids to the community center. It's a wonderful way of life. It's great for families. It's peaceful compared to where some of these other people are coming from. We got to be marketing to these people if you want them to come here. And you can get them through the internet. So now you have this large pool of people out on the internet looking for properties. Do you have listings on your website to attract them? Now, I sometimes use the analogy of fishing, but in a good sense. How many people here actually fish with a regular fishing rod? Okay? We got a couple of fishermen, okay? In Ontario, you're only allowed to put one line in the water. That's the law. You can fish in one lake. You can't put, if you have 4 rods, you can't put them all in the water at the one time. It would be against the law. But in marketing of real estate, and marketing of real estate is similar, you don't know where your next deal is coming from right now. Is that right? You don't know. So it's a lot like fishing. However, you can fish, you can market in different areas. You can put it in a newspaper, you can put it on the internet, you can put it on MLS, you can put your properties in different locations. So you can advertise in different spots. And the internet is one of them. You can advertise in more than one spot. You can have more than one website. Anybody here been to Craig Proctor's seminar? Anyone? Right, we got a few. Even Craig Proctor says you can have more than one website. Why? Because websites are like billboards. Think of the corner of Yonge and Dundas, downtown Toronto. Imagine your name, your sign, your picture, your company name, some services and the phone number, and that is generating leads for you. And then you have another one here in Oshawa, another sign with a billboard, Bloor Street someplace or wherever, and it's generating leads for you. Why not? So even though we also supply websites, we're suggesting you keep all of your websites. You don't let them go, especially for the next 2 years. Today, we're right on the cutting edge of technology. There's new things happening all the time. And these other website companies are doing a great job. We're doing some things. I suggest you keep them all. And we actually become a consultant to each and every one of you to help you make money with every single website that you have. So I'm suggesting you consider having more than one website. There's needed tags and keywords. You'll start to read about that. You can design each website to target little different audiences. You link the 2 websites together. It helps with search engine optimization. The key thing here is you want them to be automatic. The websites should update themselves and work by themselves like a billboard 24/7, generating leads for you. Now, if you're not getting leads, if you're not generating leads off your website, what should you do? Anybody? What do you do? You cancel your service? A lot of people did. A lot of people have.
Change your website.
Change your website? What else? What else can you do? Create links to help generate traffic. The concept is to generate traffic. Think about it. Isn't it absolutely inevitable that if you have thousands of listings on your website, okay, and if someone goes to see those listings, isn't it inevitable if they like one of those, and if it's structured so that they have to call you, that you're going to get a call someday? So we have a pledge. The pledge is this: that you will either do business every 3-month period that you have these services, or at the very least trigger leads that lead to doing deals, or you call us. There's only 2 reasons why you will not get leads. Number 1, you'll have a material defect on your membership. Number 2, you have no traffic going to your website. What is a material defect? Well, there's about 10 of them. And I'm telling you, it's like electrical cable. If the electrical cable to this room was cut off, this room would be dark. It's electricity. A material defect is like connecting the cable. When you fix it, all of a sudden it starts to trigger the lead off the internet for you. What's a material defect? One of them is this. Let's say you have listings on your website, and people go there and they look it up and they see the address of the property. What do you think that prospect's going to do? They're going to probably drive by the property, right? And if they drive by the property and they see the sign on the front of the property, well, who are they going to call? They're going to call the person who's got the sign on the front of the property. And you don't get paid. You don't make any money. I call that a material defect. Would you agree? Okay, now, our service is evolving. All services are evolving out there. I don't know if you just heard about the Toronto Real Estate Board. The government is challenging all kinds of things to open it up into low price listings and all that. I'm telling you, I think what's coming, what we're doing, is taking things into our own hands, so we won't have to deal with that. I think they're getting too aggressive on us and coming after us when we've been doing things great for many, many, many years, and they want to upset the apple cart. However, they have their reasons. I think we should fight back. We have a network. We'd like to keep the network going. Keep it going. However, under the challenges that are going on now, if I have a website or you have a website and you want to allow your listings to be on these other people's website, it's your website, you can do so under the services we've got. That keeps it in the hands of the brokers. Isn't that good? It's fantastic. Anybody ever heard of the Point 2 network? Okay, we got a few. Point 2 is a service out of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. They've helped create over 200,000 real estate websites for salespeople such as yourselves. So on our service, not only do we have a commercial service, but there's also a major residential component, which I'll cover in a little while here. So it begs the question, what can brokers do about all of this stuff? Well, less than 10% of the money that real estate companies and salespeople earmark is for advertising for online ads. I'm going to ask a question to everyone in this room. How many people here have spent more than $25 on search engine optimization? Anybody? 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4. So here you have the opportunities to have a technology tool to use on the internet, okay? And some people have websites and they're coasting along trying to say, I got a website, so you figure you got it. But if you have a car that won't start, is that the same thing? It's in the garage, it's in the driveway, but it's still not going anyplace. Search engine optimization helps drive traffic to your website. We talked about it. It's inevitable that you'll do deals if you can get some traffic going to the website, right? And the listing structured in a way that you get the calls. I'm going to be showing you websites that do that. Did I say get rid of your other websites? No. You keep all of your other websites. Real Web Leads is great. Gabriel Jean's Web Tech Design. It's good. You keep these websites. That's my recommendation. And we'll show you how. I didn't get the final answer to the question. If the website is not generating leads, what do? I don't suggest you cancel them. I suggest you call the technology people back of those other websites and say, listen, I'm not making money with it. Something's wrong. I'll give you 90 days, 30 days, 60 days. Show me some action. I don't know this stuff. I'm in real estate. I don't know all this stuff that's going on out there. You get the technology guys and prime them. Ask them. That's a concept. I call it a concept. When I started doing all this technology stuff, I have my telephone numbers of my technicians right here. If I have the slightest problem, time is money. If I have to sit there for half an hour or an hour figuring something out, that just costs me money. I could have been talking to somebody. So we have another pledge, and I say, well, in case I forget to mention it later, you don't go longer than 5 or 8 minutes stuck on anything. You call us. Telephone technical support. Nothing's worse than getting a service that you can't even get a hold of. Okay, let's move on. So, where are you fishing? In the Atlantic Ocean or in the desert? Consumers are getting sophisticated and there are things to serve them. Now, I've got some brokers say, Gary, I don't use a computer. I don't want to have anything to do with a computer. Zero. I tried to use it. And when I started using it, I was sitting there all day long and I was going, reading my mail, I was going, delete, 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 from all of the junk mail. How many in this room are getting junk mail? Everybody. Even Bill Gates gets junk mail. Okay? How would you, and he's got solutions, and some of you I know already have some solutions, but how would you like to stop junk mail like that? Here we go. Let's see. Okay. There we go. It's called spamarrest.com. And we're going to give a little demonstration. There. Again, I can't go over the whole thing. Take the website address down. You can check it out on your own time, but here's a nice presentation.
Delete, delete, delete. Ugh, I can't believe how much spam I get.
Are you overwhelmed by spam?
Yes, I must get 100 every day and it's getting worse. Just when I think my filters are working and I can relax, I get attacked by a whole new wave. It's so frustrating.
Filters are a temporary fix. They keep getting better, but spammers keep getting smarter. It's only a matter of time before spammers crack your filters and you're back to where you started, overwhelmed by spam. It's a never-ending cycle.
Oh, I wish there were a way to just keep spam out forever.
Now there is. Spam Arrest.
Spam arrest?
Yes, Spam Arrest. Spam Arrest blocks 100% of spam with a patented method of verifying contact sources, so spam can't find a way into your inbox. Not now, not ever.
That sounds great. How does it work?
When you receive an email from a new address or contact, Spam Arrest sends an automatic reply to make sure the email is from a real person and not a spammer. If the automatic reply goes to a real person, they'll be asked to verify themselves before their email is allowed to enter your inbox.
Is it complicated?
Not at all. All they have to do is type in a word they see on screen, then click enter.
That's it?
That's it. They're now added to your verified senders list. And from that point forward, all their email goes straight to you.
I get it. Only real people who respond to the verification email can get through to me.
Exactly.
And all that spam that would have clogged up my mailbox is stuck in cyber limbo instead.
Exactly.
I love it. But how do I know I'm not missing any important emails?
No problem. Unauthorized messages are saved in your unverified messages folder for 7 days. You can check for messages and manually approve anyone you want to receive emails from.
So I don't have to send verification emails to everyone I already know?
You can pre-approve anyone. Just add their email address to your authorized list. You can even upload your entire address book to automatically approve all your existing contacts. They won't have to lift a finger to become part of your trusted circle.
Fantastic. Sign me up. I can't wait to be spam-free.
Isn't that great?
How much does it cost?
$50 a year or something, I'm not even sure. It just comes out the credit. Very reasonable, whatever it is. I had one broker says, Gary, I thought my email was broken. I only got one email. It was the, that was it. Okay.
Gary,
Yes.
the problem with that are people who are writing in about houses or information for a house from your website, are they gonna take the time to do all that or just go to the next statement?
Are people that visit a website?
People who visit my website.
Your
and
website.
Send me an email.
Yep.
Are going to get one of those back? Are they going to take the time to say,
No, this is you getting mail.
no?
Oh,
your
if
mail."
they click on the button on your website, those links are already approved to you. Those links are already
Okay,
approved.
so,
The links on your own website, do they bring up your email address? They don't. They just come up with a form, they fill it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same email address. Those become authorized senders. In other words, if it's coming from your website, that's an authorized sender. Okay? And you can use addresses. You can have more than one email address for different services, depending on what it is that you're doing. You don't have to put them all in here. I have one that's not a spam arrest, so I get it direct. And then as soon as it gets too much spam, I shut it off and get another one. so you can do stuff like that. Okay, now, they have a little change for time today. We're gonna break at 10:45, we're not breaking at 11. And so I'm gonna shift gears here and see if I can shift gears successfully here. Hang on one second. We're still on, I guess we'll just, okay, we'll just leave that there the way it was. And let me just back up 1 second here. Oh yes. Profile of the internet user, and we're gonna finish it in another 12 minutes for a break. They can't have all of the rooms going out at the same time. Okay. How many people here have shown a home 5 times the people still did not buy, and you showed them more than 5 homes? How many in this room? Everybody. How many people here showed a home 10 times, and they still haven't bought and you keep on showing? We've got some workers here. We've got some workers. How many people here have shown a home 15 times or more? One family. Is that it? Oh, no, we've got some workers here. How many people, and I'll stop at 20, have shown more than 20 homes, 20 properties to a family? Okay, so we have some workers in this crowd. That's one thing about real estate people. We are hard workers and determined. How would you like to have people make faster decisions? We really would. We'd like that, wouldn't we? Now, the profile of the internet user is that they're higher educated and that they make faster decisions. Why do they make faster decisions? Why do you think they make faster decisions?
They've already done a lot of research.
They've done a lot of the service. Where?
Online.
On the internet. They've studied the churches, the community centers, the local facilities. They've studied prices of houses. They've checked out listings. They've called brokers. They find a house just got sold, and they even try to find out how much it sold for. They're doing a lot of their research on the internet. So if you have a special website that sends listings to them on a regular basis, new listing comes for sale today at 11 o'clock, and they get an email, and they open the email at 2 o'clock, and that listing matches the description of exactly what they're looking for, and they call you. And you're not in, so they leave a message. You get the message 2 hours later. And you say, oh, sounds good. They want to see a property. And you try to get them, but they're gone. And you leave a message, and so they call back later, and you start to play telephone tag. Well, why not have the BlackBerries and the iPhones? Absolutely essential tools in our business. What are we selling today? Really, what are we selling?
Myself.
We're selling service, aren't we? We're really not selling properties. We're selling service. So if somebody is able to send you a text message or even an email, one that comes from your website that they're interested in something, and you're in the middle of a showing and you're in the rec room showing the property. In the case of us guys, we put it on our belts and the thing vibrates and we can hear it, we can feel it. And so I say to the family that I'm showing the home, do you mind, I just have to answer this one particular text message for a showing? Can you continue to look through the rec room? And then I'll be with you in a second. And then you answer him back and say, I will get back to you this afternoon and try to set it up for you tonight at 7. While you're showing the home. Multitasking. If you have the iPhones and the BlackBerries using text messaging, you can do stuff like this. Now, if you're an internet-enabled real estate person and somebody is using the internet to purchase a property, who does that person want to work with? The guy that's going to call him back 2 hours later, 3 hours later, I can't get a hold of him, make it tomorrow? Or somebody that literally emails them back or text messages them back within 3 or 4 minutes. That's what these things are for. So, some of us have got them. But do we even know how to use them? Okay, how many people here have a BlackBerry? Okay, how many people here have an iPhone? Whoa! Not one. That's interesting. Very interesting. Okay, on your BlackBerry, can you browse the internet on your BlackBerry, or using it strictly for email? How many can browse the internet? Okay, you can set icons on your browser. How many people are doing that for the purposes of the latest listings, where you can see a list of the latest listings in Oshawa? How many people are using the BlackBerry for that? We got one? Excellent. Two? You can have a button. I'll give you an example. Any link that is on the internet, you can make it a link in your BlackBerry. And we're going to finish in 6 minutes, and I'll just kind of cover this first. I'm making some changes here in the little presentation to accommodate the request. And I'll just use this, but you can apply it to any service, any kind of properties. I'll show you. I'm just going to go to Ontario here, and I want to show something that's relevant to this marketplace. I'm going to show you in a minute a link, and I'm going to explain the power of links, and then we're going to cut it off here. I'm going to go to Oshawa. Okay, here we go. Now, when I go to Oshawa, there's all the latest listings one at a time coming up. In fact, if I was to click on the latest listing and look at the date, there's a little variety store here someplace in Oshawa. And what's the date on that? April 27th? Okay, so 2 days ago, what are we today? The 29th? So a couple of days ago, that listing was put on. So, let's look now up at this is called a URL. Okay? That's called a URL. That's a Universal Resource Locator. You don't have to know what it is. It's just simply a website address. That website address can be one of these little icons on your BlackBerry. How do you do it? Here's how you do it. I'm going to back up the page. What you do, okay, everybody that's got a BlackBerry on the internet right now, can you open up your browsers? Open up your browsers and click on your browser so that it comes up. How many people here are doing it? Okay, we got almost a good portion of the room, so we'll just follow this through. Now, can you type in your browser, so in other words, if you want to go to a website, type in iciworld.net/BB for BlackBerry. It's a special website for BlackBerry users. Okay? And press go. I'm using the iPhone. I have both. And you'll see a page come up. iciworld.net/BB. That's it. Now you notice I didn't type the http://www. All of these devices and browsers are getting more smart. So that means you can stop typing all that stuff, people. If it doesn't work, then type it in. So the rest of your life, you don't have to type www all the time. Just type in whatever address you want to go to. You want to go to CNN.com, you don't have to type in http://www.cnn.com. Just type in CNN.com. Right into that address field, right up at the top. That's what we call the address field, right up there. Okay, that's the address field. But you're typing in iciworld.net/BB. Is anybody there yet?
Yeah.
Okay, now on my screen, I just double-click twice and it makes it bigger. So I can see the printing. And if I don't like the printing, it's not big enough, I turn it this way and the printing gets bigger. Isn't that neat? Okay, that's the iPhone. This is the BlackBerry. I have a BlackBerry. Okay, and I have the iPhone. I have both. And now, if you go down the page, one of them is going to say Ontario. Click on the Ontario one if you can, people. By the way, you can make that a favorite right there, the iciworld.net/BB. by clicking on the, where is it? Oh, on the iPhone, on the BlackBerry, what do you click on to make it a favorite? What is it? The BlackBerry, is it the BlackBerry button? Okay. You click on the BlackBerry button is what they're saying. On mine, I have a thing that opens up and it says bookmarks on mine. They're all a little bit different. The concept today, what's exciting here at this meeting, is that you have tools that we're not using yet to its fullest potential. We're just scratching the surface. We got the BlackBerry, so we feel empowered, you know? But if you don't, you can have a plane, a jet that can fly you right to Monte Carlo, and it can belong to you, and it can be outside your door, but if you don't know how to fly it, you're still not going anyplace. So, use some of these tools. Learn how to put that little icon right in your BlackBerry, or iPhone, or other device. Anybody have another device other than that they use? BlackBerries? That's it? Okay, very good. Now, that shortcut can be any link. It doesn't have to be here. I'm just showing you because I happen to be familiar with our service. But that can be any link. What are some of the links that you put on your BlackBerry, please? And we'll finish off with this as a break towards the intermission. I have Toronto Star on mine. In other words, if I want to read the Toronto Star, I read my Toronto Star right here, all the headlines. Tell me what you put on your BlackBerries. I want to know. Toronto MLS, that's it. Beautiful. What else?
Top 25 banks.
What is it?
I work internationally, so I use the top 25 banks.
Top 25 banks. Excellent.
Weather Network.
Weather net. I got the weather right here every day. Believe it or not, I check this thing for the weather. Over here. What do you put on your BlackBerry? What else do you use your BlackBerry for?
Porno.
And then 100 of them got arrested for it recently, I heard in town. Is that right? I got it on the news. I gave
Oops.
Pardon me? Mortgages. What else can you use it for?
Facebook.
Pardon me?
Facebook.
Facebook, absolutely. What's that? What's that?
It's a network.
Oh, it is, eh? Oh, very good. Okay.
What is it?
What else can you use it for? Okay, so you got the idea. By the way, Skype even has an application on here. I could be in the Caribbean, where the calls are $1.80 a minute to call back to Canada. I can log into a local network if I can get into a wireless someplace. There's internet cafes and all these kinds of things. And I can use Skype and make a phone call back home. The phone won't work because I'd have to buy a card down there and put the chip in. But I can use wireless from one of these things. The break is on, starting now. Intermission, 15 minutes. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you back in 15 minutes. Has anybody ever seen this? All seen this? Has anyone ever seen our ad in there? You've seen our ad? Anyone else? Very few people have ever seen it. We've been in there for 10 years. Anybody ever seen this publication? Okay. Has anybody ever seen our ad there? Okay. Most people haven't seen it. We've been in there for 10 years. Anybody know what this is? Now, by the way, I should say this. This is designed for the public, these other publications. That's why a lot of real estate people haven't seen all the other ads. Everybody is so busy doing business, everyone's overwhelmed with information overload and overwhelmed with information, and they don't maybe have a chance to go through every single issue and see all of these things. But remember I said before that marketing is like fishing. These things are things that commercial brokers, for instance, have to do. They have to stay in front of the public. You never know when someone's going to call you from something in here. If you don't go in here, is it possible that you are missing doing deals and you don't even know it? Now, this particular ad, or this particular publication, does anybody know what this is? What is it? It's real estate marketing, but does anybody know what special about it?
Comes in free.
I'm sorry?
Your agents only.
Yeah.
It's not a public.
Yeah, it goes out to 75,000 real estate people only in Canada. That's it. This is your publication. Okay? Has anybody ever seen our ad in the back of here? Okay? We're in here. We're in here. So, you know, our challenge and your challenge is to get out there and kind of reach people the best way you can. And you've got to keep marketing in all the best ways that you can. And some of it sometimes is more effective than others. And because it's not effective, doesn't mean that you don't do it. You might get 1 or 2 leads from this source, but a whole bunch of leads from another source. Does that mean that you eliminate the other source? No. So you sometimes have to try all these different things. Okay, can everyone pull out their business card? And on the back of your business card, and I'm going to pick one of these cards right now for a free membership, but I want you to fill in a password. Now listen before you start doing it. Fill in what you think is, I want you to be similar to existing passwords that you're using. Similar. Don't use the same exact one and give it to me. So if you had red 25, make it yellow 36. Okay. If you had the name of your daughter and a number or something, put the password on the back of your business card, but different. Make it different. And we're going to do a password test. What is a good password and what? Here we go. And can somebody collect all the cards from this side? This is also for a test, also for a membership. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 memberships. One from this group, one from this group, and one for that group. If you want to, can you just, everybody get your cards into this gentleman? And then maybe all your cards into this lady here, and all your cards into that gentleman there. Just get them all in, and as soon as you've got all their cards, just bring them up to the front. Bring them all up. Make your password different from what a real one is. Make it up, but put it in. Thank you. Okay? Okay? All right, very good. Now, we're going to click on here, and I'm going to be saying these passwords out loud, so that's why I don't want it to be exactly one that you've got. Actually, I had them in 3 files, sorry. I should do that. Okay, good. Let's do it that way. Okay, great. All right, so I'm going to pick out Jose Geronimo. Okay? And you'll see that there's a password test on the screen. Have I got it on both screens? Okay. And I'm going to put in, I hope this is not a real password. None of these better be real passwords, okay? Because I'm about to share it with everybody here. Okay. So I'll say your name first, Joe Geronimo. Here we go. I'm going to type in J-O-E. You can't see it because it's being blacked out. What percentage are we up to? Score. Can you see the score? 5%. 5402. 48%. Not a very good password.
Be a good password.
Hang on. Let's pick another one here. Now this one, is this, hang on a second. Jillian Wentworth? Where are you?
What's the last name?
Is it Jillian Wentworth? Waterworth, sorry. Is that a capital L on London?
Doesn't matter.
It does matter, actually.
Okay.
You want it to be small? I'll put it small. London, 61. You think you have a good password? There's a problem here, people. I'm about to show you something that's going to scare the heck out of you in a minute. Now, let's go back and do the same word, London with a capital, 61. What happened? It shot up 3 times as good, just with one capital letter. Now I wonder if we did the same thing, L capital O, continue L N D O N 61. Same thing. Okay, it did make a big difference. One capital letter. Okay, so that's another one. And I'm going to do one more, and we can maybe stop there. I'll pick something that somebody's tried to do. Most of these are some letters and some numbers. Letters and numbers, just a name. All of those are very weak. Everything's weak here. I can't find somebody that's got Rocky 25. It's the same as Dad 1013. They're all the same. A name and a number. Name and a number. Name and a number. Okay, we got all names and numbers here, people. Okay, names and numbers. Names and numbers. Okay, so how do you make a password better? How do you get to be 100% where people can't crack it? Right now, people can crack your passwords if they really wanted to. You know. Okay. Let's start with, I'll do the London 61. I'm going to go, now you'll see on the page it says number of characters, uppercase, symbols, and numbers. Okay? So let's see what we can do here. Now, I'm going to suggest we try highway. H, capital H, W, Y. A dash, 403, and a dollar sign. What happened? Shot right up to 94%. A character, like a dash, a dollar sign, something like that, just don't make money in real estate, put a dollar sign in your passwords. You know, just, you try to think. And a capital letter, in your name, make a capital letter, okay? And put in a number. And then if you wanted to add maybe another number, bingo, you just hit 100%. Okay. Yeah, right now you're doing things that a computer, if it shot through some programming, it could easily find out passwords. I hope your bank passwords aren't like that.
If there's computers out there that can tell what all the passwords are, what's the point of a password?
Well, you start with all kinds of entry points. You're absolutely correct. There's ways that people can get into things, and I'm about to show you some horror stories of people that have lost thousands of dollars. Okay, but if you've got an easy password, why give them like an easy way? Make it a little more difficult to go someplace else. Okay, that's the thinking. All right, let's move on. Microsoft Online Safety, you can go there. In the essence of time, I'm going to move on. We've got a lot of stuff to do. So, password do's and don'ts. Yes, use upper and lowercase letters. Pick long words. You can even say somewhere over the rainbow to remember your song and use the first letter of each one. That's it. Use a foreign language word. Password don'ts. Do not use a word that appears in the dictionary. Use a common word. Use the same password multiple times, such as in debit and credit cards. Don't have the same PIN numbers. Keyword sequences, guest names, words, something that people might guess. Okay. Now, let's move on. What I'm about to share with you is, I call it the good, the bad, and the ugly is the internet. The same way that you can walk downtown Toronto and you can buy beautiful things down there at the Eaton Center. You walk further, and if you're there late at night or at other times, you can end up in some real problems. Now, how are we going to get rid of all of those? Hang on one second. Because I've finished that, I'm going to delete it. Okay. And because I've finished that one, I'm going to delete it. And you'll see I'm bringing in some of the ones that are a little off the page because I've got so many of them. I'm going to delete it. And I'm going to delete that one there. I'm going to delete it. There we go. Oh, yes, okay, we're gonna start here. There we go. Look at all of the tabs that are opening up instantly, all at once, to make my job a little bit easier to kind of present all this stuff. I can get rid of that. I can get rid of that. And I can get rid of that. This is a spam test. We'll end the session with that in a minute. This is a special page on the internet that you should mark down. It's called iciworld.net/security. And I literally could spend a whole weekend here on this one particular page. It's a page that I suggest you go over with your family. And the reason is that you might be watching what you're doing on a computer, but some other family member is clicking on everything, opening up everything. And the worst thing of all is the keystroke logger. Somebody gets a little keystroke logger onto your computer, it's literally tracking your keystrokes. You log into your bank account, they can literally have it. That can be the worst one.
How do you find those?
Well, we're going to cover some of this stuff here. So the website address to follow up on this stuff after the session is up on that screen coming up there. And it's called iciworld.net/security. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about these problems, because what I'm finding is it's absolutely amazing. I have a broker who came up to me after this meeting, what I'm about to do with you, and he said, Gary, I got on the internet, I went to eBay, and I sold some things on it. It was great. I really liked it. And he says, I decided to sell my Mercedes. So he put his Mercedes on eBay, and he got an offer, and he accepted it, $30,000. It was a used Mercedes. And anyways, he got all his money, and he shipped the car. Except when his money tried to clear, it didn't clear. And he's never seen his car since. Now, he's a broker. Not all of them are as smart as others, as you could say, but we can fall into traps. We're human. And he lost out on that money. And that's happening in our industry right now. And there's some of us in this room that sometimes people come up and say, I'm too embarrassed to say it, but I had something happen. Go ahead.
Was it done through PayPal? Because there is.
It wasn't. And that's what we found out later. And that's a good point, that if you buy something through eBay and PayPal, you're protected. Is that correct? But how do you know when you're just getting out, driving on the internet for the first time? So, this is knowledge, this is experience, coming here to this session to learn about some of these things that people learn the hard way, so let's learn from other people's mistakes. So then, the Haiti disaster comes along, and they raise money right away. Canadians are very generous. In fact, the money that was raised, there was UNICEF raised $550,000 within 36 hours through the web and telephone pledges. And then in the next 24 hours, it took only 24 hours before scammers were turning out emails exploiting the disaster. Most of the spam emails are masquerading as legitimate pleas for donations. And at that point, we're very vulnerable, we're sensitive to try to help out right away. Well, here's an easy way to kind of help out. They got thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars, these people, from all of this stuff. Let's move on. Now, some of us are going to get identity theft done to it, not because of what we did, because of maybe what happened to another company. And here's a story. It's February 19th, 2010. More than 75,000 computer systems at nearly 2,500 companies in the United States and around the world have been hacked into in one of the largest, most sophisticated attacks by cyber criminals discovered to date. It began in 2008. It's in 196 countries. Personal information, credit card stuff, all kinds of things, intrusion. So sometimes it can be through a different company. And sometimes I found the odd charge. I don't know, has anybody found the odd charge on a credit card that shouldn't have been there? How many people have? Okay, quite a few in this room. Quite a few in this room. A quarter. Interesting. And that can happen to others. So what should you be doing? Maybe some of you have had it, but you haven't been checking your credit cards. because they masquerade.
Ask
Right.
who checks their statements line by line.
Who checks their statements line by line?
Oh my God.
Okay? A lot of people don't, it looks like. Haven't put up their hands. Let's move on. Now, has anybody ever heard of the princess from Nigeria? She's got $20 million sitting in a bank account because her father got deposed. But if you give her $50,000, she'll get it out and split that $20 million with you. Okay? You thought that was a good deal? Over $1 billion. $1 billion. I'm going to show it to you in a minute, from 60 Minutes. We're going to run a TV show here. I'm going to show it to you. Has been taken out of people's pockets. How does that happen? Now, we might be a little more enlightened because we're handling information as real estate people. The reason I go over this is because you can help people protect them by making people wise to what's going on. It starts with your family, and it starts with people that you talk to. And there's for sale by owner people, they're running into this stuff, credit card fraud. They're running into all of their information out there on the internet and exposing their home. And it's incredible what's going on. So these are called advanced fee fraud schemes, and this is from the Microsoft Corporation. So that's another link on that special page that I was showing you before. Now the interesting thing too, here's another article, this was of last year, that fraud artists find it easier in a battered economy because when people are suffering money, they're grasping at straws to try to make ends meet. And so they give money to these people to try to maybe do things, and they get taken. So it happens a lot, and people are preying on that. Now, and here's an interesting one. Burlington, Ontario, has got a dubious award called the riskiest city online. Why? Well, there's a lot of affluent people that live in Burlington. And it's easy, everybody's, leave computers are on 24 hours a day, and pop on a computer, go do something. Somebody pops on, open this email, and nope, not interesting, close it, bingo, the damage was done. They open the email. In those emails are these links creeping, ready, coming at you. Oshawa made that list too. Okay, so Oshawa made it as well, did it? Okay, so, these are things where we're not being careful. It's like driving down the road on the highway, talking on your cell phone, and say, I think I'll text them and going 100 miles an hour down the road. You've got to be aware of these things on the internet. What else have we got here? Let's go to the next one. Affinity fraud. Here's cases where church groups have been taken for thousands of dollars. One church group lost $300,000 they invested. Whether it was the Nigerian scam or something. But affinity is a little different. That's where somebody in the group infiltrates the group and you think he's one of you. He's one of the God-fearing people that shares your congregation. It couldn't be doing that. And starts getting all kinds of money. And it's getting more and more common amongst groups of people. Affinity fraud. Okay, let's close. How can I close? Okay, I'm going to close that. Close all those tabs. And I have to open that up one more time and click on the next one. Okay, that was 5. I think I'm up to 6 now. In case I forget, if you can remind me. Now, I got an email from someone that says, Gary, if you send this email to 25 more people, Ericsson is sending you free laptops. Did everybody get that? Yeah. Oh. Okay, now, some people don't, and it came from your friends, didn't it? Now, I'm suggesting that you can go on the internet and type in Ericsson dash, okay, if you're not sure if something is a fraud or not, it looks almost legitimate. It really tricks us too. Go on the internet, like we've done there, and that's, I'm going to have to stop that one. Hold it. I don't know if it's this one. Let's just stop that. I'm coming to this in a minute, that one. So it started playing by itself. So you go on there, you search Ericsson T18, and what does some of those things in Google say? Oh, it's a hoax. It's a hoax. One simple search in Google, all of a sudden, you will find that it was a hoax. Now, if you know it's a hoax, are you going to pass it on to all your friends and relatives? Obviously not. But your friends didn't know to check that. So maybe if we all became more educated, if we all educated more people one-on-one, we use the power of the internet to educate, to say, go check the internet and see if it's legitimate or not. And there's an official article placed by Erickson disavowing all of that stuff. Pardon me?
I say, I go to Snopes when I get something.
Snopes? Snopes.com? What's good about Snopes? Tell me on that.
Well, it's, you look up Erickson, and it would tell you whether it was real or not.
Okay, Snopes.com. We're gonna check that out to maybe.
It's right there on your thing right there.
Oh, is it? Okay. I'm on a track, so I'm not gonna go into it because I want to get finished exactly at what time? 12:30. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Now, how would you like to see one of these scam artists caught in a sting? All right? You're going to see them. And what I think is, okay, let's just go and see it. Let's just go together. Both screens. Both screens if I...
Hello, I'm Don Taylor. Welcome to 2020 in Touch. A while back, 2020 exposed an international web scam based in Nigeria that is bilking people out of millions of dollars. Some Americans have even lost their entire life savings. After our story aired, one of the con men we caught on videotape contacted us. His conscience was bothering him, and he wanted to help us by revealing the secrets of his trade, including using what is called black money to cheat victims. Coming up on Friday, Chief Investigative Correspondent Brian Ross has the confessions of a con artist.
The man with the big grin and the warm handshake introduced himself as Mr. Davidson, a diplomat from Nigeria, bringing millions of dollars. In reality, he is a con man, a thief, unaware he had walked into a hotel suite secretly rigged with 2020's undercover cameras. Mr. Davidson is about to get caught and come clean, providing a rare inside look at one of the most pervasive scam operations the world has ever seen.
Your name is not Davidson.
No.
And you're not a diplomat.
I'm not a diplomat. I'm not Davidson.
On the day he got caught by 2020, his victim was a California heart surgeon, Dr. Timothy Sloan, who had already lost his life savings when he came to us. Dr. Sloan had fallen for what is known as the black money scam.
That's the cash. The bottle was...
In which the victim is told these are really $100 bills, $3.8 million worth, supposedly covered in black ink so they could be smuggled out of Nigeria. The scam involves the victim paying for a special chemical that can clean off the ink.
This black money supposedly was actually in the suitcase, and then he took the fluid out of the bottle that was in the suitcase and cleaned 4 of these bills.
And what came up?
$100 bills.
And when Eric showed up to meet Dr. Sloan in our secretly wired hotel suite, his goal was to collect the cash for a batch of chemicals supposedly to clean $15 million in black money. With Dr. Sloan in the room was ABC News producer Len Tepper, introduced as a co-investor.
The money that we're giving you, the $25,000, is that enough money to clean the entire $3.8 million?
Not only the 3.8, to clean the entire 15 million.
Okay.
It was time to move in and catch the thief in his line.
Yeah, excuse me. Brian Ross from ABC News 2020. What is that? Tell me what that is.
I don't know what it is.
Is it real?
I've not seen money like this before.
Do you believe that's real?
I don't believe. I have not seen money like
You know what this is? This is construction paper, right?
I don't know what it
Feel
is.
it, feel it. Come on. That's a scam.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was real tears.
Those are real tears?
Yeah.
Why were you crying?
Thought I was going to jail and
Thought you were going to jail.
yeah, and I was thinking about my family, how they were going to take it. If I go to jail,
You weren't just putting on an act?
no, it was real tears. And since then, I've not been myself.
1 week after being caught, Eric says he decided to end his role as a con man. He showed up at our ABC News offices in New York and said he wanted to come clean and tell us all he knows about the scams.
You came and you told us you were through.
Yeah,
Are you really through?
I'm really through. I don't have money, but I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to do it.
That's why you've come here today, and you're prepared to tell us how you do it, and who you do it with.
Take a measurement of the dollar bill.
He started by showing us exactly how he pulls off the black money scam. Thousands of currency-sized pieces are cut from black construction paper, just as we suspected.
And that's the money. You do a whole suitcase.
Yeah, a whole suitcase.
Full of this.
Yeah, full of this.
But he also takes a few legitimate $100 bills and turns them black, using glue, iodine, and water. These will be the bills cleaned with the expensive magic chemical. It is mostly crushed vitamin C in water. Eric told us he learned how to do this after falling for it himself in Africa, where he worked as a customs border guard.
So why not join them and recoup my money?
Why not join them?
Yeah, if you can beat them, you join them. So
you did.
So I did.
I'm Don Daler. For all of us in 2020, we're in touch. So you be in touch.
They sort of think of themselves as Robin Hood, where everyone here, everyone in Canada and the United States is, we're the rich ones. We're Robin Hood. They're stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. But they're also taking money from poor people here, some people that have had their life savings and ripping it right down to nothing. It's, and he goes on in further article, if you were to go further, some people have gone over there and tried to collect the money and they never came back. Other scams, right around tax time, you'll get an email saying there were some things left off your tax. If you just kind of fill in your social security number and a few other things, and then you fix it, we'll fix it. Those are scams, and the federal government's putting out warnings. The FBI has got websites all about scams. It's big time. And in Canada, they're not after scams yet. They're just starting to get geared up. They're not even close to being what they should be to go after scams in Canada. It's still wide open here. That's why you got to be extra careful here. Here's another good one. Again, at the same website, iciworld.net/security. There's a whole bunch of beautiful things, websites that really kind of show you some of the things that are going on here. And one of them, if I can get down far enough. Okay, let's just go. Oopsie daisy. Oh, my eyes are going. Okay, here we go. Identity. Here we go.
It all started with my cell phone. Got a text message one day from T-Mobile thanking me for adding an additional line onto my credit. Then I got to thinking about that and started getting paranoid, and I checked my credit, and it was just a nightmare. I call it my big black book. My credit rating should have been at about 800. This is the impact on my scores. It starts out high. It starts going down to moderate and then to low. However, low has a whole nother page because they weren't done yet, so they just kept on going. Overall, everything totaled up together was just over $8,000.
Somebody was what they call mailboxing, so stealing things from people's mailboxes, unlocked mailboxes. Mail had been not only redirected, but electrical bills, gas bills, those sorts of things were being changed into these victims' names, but to pay for these criminals' services at their house.
It probably took me about, 4 or 5 months on the phone, mailing letters, on the phone, mailing more letters, on the phone again, to successfully reverse all the charges.
Check your credit rating on a regular basis to ensure that fraudsters have not opened accounts in your name. Shred any documents that contain personal information, such as your name, address, phone number, bank, or credit card numbers. If you receive any calls or mail from companies indicating you have opened up a new account and you haven't, follow up and close them down. Make sure your mail is left in a secure mailbox and not easily stolen.
There's a real estate fraud coming up. If I can get it down here. Excuse me, Garrett? Yes, sir.
Just where it says HTTP, if
Yes.
S is in there, does that mean you're on a secure website still?
Supposed to be, yeah. It's getting to a point where they could even sometimes, I don't know if they can, trick that too. I get worried about everything on the internet now. I'm very hyper myself too.
Barry portrayed himself as a very successful real estate entrepreneur, and he essentially was talking to a class of new students in the industry, people who didn't really have enough background to know right or wrong or black and white. Barry had tracked me down when I was working for a real estate investment bank up in San Francisco, and it offered me a great opportunity it seemed like a great opportunity to come work for him, lucrative compensation package, and working out some very interesting deals and more added responsibility than what I was doing currently. Barry had raised some equity funds for a deal that was located in Chicago.
For instance, on the Chicago property, it was going to be bought and then redeveloped. The actual location of the property was a little vague. It was at property at this certain intersection. I don't know whether it's the northeast corner or the southeast corner, whatever the case may be. And that was actually an addendum C to the project that was always missing.
He turned out the employees and said, hey, we have a little bit of extra money that we need to raise for this deal. We've already got 40 million of it raised. But if the company's going to put the rest of the money in, but if the employees and some of your friends and family want to get in on this, you're absolutely welcome to.
If someone tells you up front, I can pay you 30%, and I've done cases where people are told you can get 100% a week, I can say flatly, those types of investments do not exist. There is no such thing.
Myself, our friends and family, the employees, a lot of people put money in this deal.
Used his position as a USC professor to prey on his students and family members of his students. If you're attending a class taught by a professor in real estate development, and he offers you a chance to go on an investment with him on a real estate development, who wouldn't have trust in a situation like that?
There's no substitute for due diligence. Whether the person asking you to invest is your teacher, your priest, or your lawyer, you have to do independent research. Check with the local government to ensure the real estate deal in question is actually taking place. Ask for as much written documentation as possible related to the investment opportunity you're considering.
There's mortgage fraud, bank fraud, CIBC's putting out things. Let me just see if I could, what number was I up to, 6? I covered that one. Okay, hang on a second. No, that's okay. So we're gonna just leave it at that. And just to make sure that you're aware, there's just all kinds of ways. My question to you is, do you think these people are going away? Do you think these people are getting smarter? Yes. Yeah. They're getting so smart that even we think we're smart. We accidentally click on a link and then it's too late. You accidentally click on something. So you got to be kind of careful out there. So my big thing here is you really got to be careful what's going on the internet. However, it's got powerful tools. If you have a website out there that's operating on its own and it's triggering leads, that's pretty good. That's certainly safe. Now, let's just move on here. We're going to cover a little bit of social media here. And there's numbers of different social media. Is anybody here using Facebook? How many? Okay, we've got quite a few. How about Twitter? Okay, we've got some Twitters. YouTube? Anybody a little bit with YouTube? And how about a blog? Anybody operating a blog? Okay, we have some knowledgeable people about blogs. And LinkedIn. Anybody using that? Okay. So I wouldn't mind some of your comments kind of as we go along. We're going to start that these are other tools that help you generate leads off the internet. And the people that are using them successfully swear by them. They say, my God, I'm getting leads because the customers can warm up to you. And I'll give you an idea of what that warm-up is a little bit about. And it happens, it's good to know this, and I call it a website philosophy. And if it's okay with you, I'm going to use you as an example. okay, that you're a salesperson and you're in a retail store at the corner of Bloor and Avenue Road in one of those nice stores. And I'm coming in and I'm looking for a cashmere sweater for my daughter. And what I'm trying to show you now is the difference between getting people warm up to you or coming on to you, and I'll show you what I mean. Your website's got to let people warm up. These blogs help people warm up. Here's what it's all about. I walk into, you're in the store, you're the shopping person. I'm the salesperson, sorry, okay? You're shopping. As soon as you walk in the store, I walk right up to you and say, ma'am, can I help you right away? What are you looking for? Is it a sweater? What are you looking for? Do you like that when I come right up in your face like that? The answer is no. No one likes that. That's coming on to them. So right away you say, no, thanks anyways. I just want to browse. I just want to look around myself if that's okay with you. Okay? So you look around and you're going through the articles for sale in the clothing store, and all of a sudden you find a beautiful cashmere sweater, and it's the right color, and you check the size, and it's not exactly the right size, and you're looking around for a salesperson, and you can't find one. Does that bother you? Yeah. In the first situation, you didn't want them right there at all coming up to you. You really wanted to browse yourself. But when you wanted the information, you wanted it like that. That is also the philosophy of a website. If you don't know that, you could be missing doing deals. People want to be able to browse. They want to be able to look through your website, first-time home buyer's kit, maybe check the calculator, maybe browse some homes on your website, and maybe they'll even subscribe to receive some listings from your website, because there's websites that deliver these listings. And then 2 weeks from now, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they get an email of a listing that really looks like something they might like, and they say, you know something, maybe we should give that lady a call. I really like this home. I want to go see it. And then they get a hold of you, you go show it to them, you set it up for 7 o'clock, you go show them the home, and you make some money. From feast to famine, famine to feast, all of a sudden, bingo, you've got yourself a sale. Just from that one link, just like that, triggered by the website. Now, has anybody got a story about a blog, that they've got somebody from a blog, a client or some business from a blog? Anyone? How about Facebook? Has anybody done any? Would you mind standing? Are you okay with that? Or just talk where you are if you want. If you're comfortable sitting, that's fine.
Like 3 years ago, my first real estate deal was off Facebook. It was from my elementary school boyfriend.
Wow.
I saw that he was in the West End and he was going to move to Durham on his posting. So I emailed him and said, hey, I just got in the business.
Excellent, excellent. So there's a transaction that came off of Facebook. Let's go to Twitter. Anybody has a deal off of Twitter? That doesn't mean that they don't happen. Okay? YouTube? Anybody? Blogging, we've covered. Did we have a deal off of blogging? No? LinkedIn? Now, does that mean that they're not working? No. Maybe we just haven't figured out how to make them work yet. It's all brand new, right? Let's take an example of how one person's using it. Let's try it. Here it is. Facebook. Let's see if we get that coming up. Come on now. Here we go. Oh, here's one realtor with 50,000 fans and counting. Douglas Newby is a longtime student. Was essentially a one-man shop in Dallas, Texas. Yet despite this, he's accomplished something that Realtor.com didn't even achieve. He developed a Facebook fan page that went wildly viral after just 2 months of piling up. There's all his statistics. I'm not going to go into exactly how he did it. My job today, in my opinion, is to just get you to be aware of these services, start maybe to check them out. I haven't personally used them yet. They sometimes take time. A blog takes a little bit of time if you want to respond to people. And some of us just don't have that kind of time, even though it can be valuable. So you're gonna measure the time and the value of kind of doing some of these things. What number was I up to? I did 7 already? Oh, I didn't do 7? Oh, wait a minute, I think I jumped I had to do it this way because it wasn't ready. So there we go, I'm gonna open up some of these samples of how people are starting to use social media, and I'm learning here with you. This is not my area of expertise, but I'm investigating, I'm looking at it too. Getting started, checking it out. So that's the realtor with 1. Let's go to Cindy here. Oh, here's a lady who will, for $47, help you completely set up your own blog. You can look over her shoulder by way of a webinar, and she will show you how to do a complete setup for a webinar. Cindy Spivak, International. She'll show you how to do it. In Durham, there's another blog. Does anybody know this person? But there's a blog right here in Oshawa, in Durham. People are starting to do business here with blogs. And maybe down the road, it might get so out there that if you don't have one, then you're not with it. It might get that way. Now, real estate courses on how to set up blogging are online. They're available online now. There it is at about.com. And if you go down the page, you'll see Real Estate Blogging 101 in 4 days. It'll teach you how to do it, how to set it up. So if you've got a little gift to gab and you like to chat out there and maybe generate some business, and it's interesting, and the people that sometimes get in it are passionate about it, they really enjoy it, keeps their day lively, and makes life interesting and fun. Earth's great treasure lies in human personality. And if you have some of these sites going, it can be enjoyable. Over 65 million professionals use LinkedIn to exchange information, ideas, and opportunities. Again, another way to maybe talk, you can just type in real estate in some of these things and find people interested in real estate to buy and sell, etc. And Facebook, there's an example. This one here, there's 48,000 members right in Facebook. All about it. Let's see what else we have here. What was I up to? LinkedIn, Facebook, okay. Social networking. Now, here's another problem. Just be careful. Watch this. I think some of you have seen this. But
people who are living with Alzheimer's.
Oh, this is a little commercial. Sometimes listening to these presentations, the companies will put a little commercial in here first before they actually play the video. That's their way of kind of raising money and providing services. And that's what this gentleman is doing right here.
You could just lie down and die. I don't think there's any honor in that.
Who believes her house was ransacked after she posted a seemingly innocent Facebook update. She says it's no coincidence, and the proof is all caught on tape. Here's Andrew Canning.
You're watching a burglary in progress. This security video shows a pair of robbers stealing $10,000 worth of Carrie McMullen's belongings in just 13 minutes.
Then one goes back in the bedroom and the other one taking the laptop.
The men had broken in just minutes after she left for a concert.
I posted on my Facebook page who the band was, where we were going. The band started at 8.
McMullen didn't think anything of the timing until posting the video on Facebook. A break in the case came immediately. One of her 500 friends recognized the suspect as another Facebook friend she hadn't seen in 20 years.
I did not recognize him at first, but after seeing pictures now, I mean, it's definitely him.
Police believe her status update tipped off the burglars. It's stories like this that inspired the website pleaserobme.com. It revealed people's whereabouts taken from social tracking sites like Foursquare and Brightkite.
Oversharing is clearly everywhere. I'm letting my Facebook friends know that I'm out getting coffee near work. My whereabouts are instantly known to hundreds, but I'm not the only offender. Just today, more than a dozen of my friends have told me exactly where they are, everywhere from a doctor's appointment to a Vegas vacation.
They broke in through this window right here.
Matt Chapman was robbed after tweeting and posting on Facebook he was going camping.
I never considered the dangers of the ramifications until we were burglarized.
Facebook recommends pick your friends just as carefully on Facebook as you do in real life. Use the privacy tools to restrict more sensitive updates to your closest friends.
I will never, ever again put that I'm going anywhere on Facebook.
For Good Morning America, Andrea Canning, ABC News, New York.
With more than 400 million users worldwide, Facebook isn't just full of friends. So how do you protect yourself? Joining us live right here in the studio is Internet Privacy and Security Attorney and Executive Director
You
of...
can see the rest of that on what is the website address. You can see that. I gave it isayworld.net/security. That link can also become a link on each of your websites as a public service to the public. You could put that link in there, and it's a way, you know, when you're talking to somebody, go to my website, I got things you should be careful of on the internet. And it's very interesting seeing all this stuff. Twitter, again, you can type in, you know, different things. You see here, Twitter for real estate agents. How to get started on Twitter, how to kind of deal with it. Just take your time, just trying to kind of learn as you go along. Here's a video. What is in there? I think, is it down here? Okay, so I can't find it. There was another one that I wanted to go. I don't know what that is. Okay, using YouTube for real estate traffic. That's another option. You can do that. There's some very good marketing being done with that too. And YouTube is kind of good for that. But let's close out of this. And I did some searches in Oshawa, and there were some here, but oh, there it is. I think maybe this is it right here. Let's see if that's it. And that was someone that's okay, no. Okay, I think I had to be signed in or something in order to show it, so I'm just gonna maybe let me see if that's where it was. No, okay, I can't find it, so I'm just gonna leave that. Sorry about that. Okay, let's move on. Now we're getting into what I call the meat of today. The meat of today is where you can do something. There's some specific step that you can take to actually make money triggering leads from the internet. And so one of the most powerful tools that are on the internet today happens to be a website. Anyone that doesn't have a website today, that's really a no-no. You're competing with other people that have sophisticated websites on the internet. And if you don't have one, you're not staying up to the competition. However, you can have one website. Some people think that's all they need. But to be quite honest, they're like billboards, and you can be making money with all of them, and you can link them, and you can learn from people at both companies. But they're like a store. If you have a store that is empty, you have nothing to sell. So really what's important is having listings. It's a platform that holds information. By itself, it does not make you money. Let's move that one too. It is the content. It's the content on your website that's the difference. Now, ICI World can supply content for every one of your websites. I'll show you how little it is inexpensive to get in a moment, where you can put one link onto your existing website that triggers leads. It becomes one of the biggest revenue-producing tools for all brokers in Ontario. But it's not just that content develops an interest, it develops an electronic interest that leads to doing business. Now, the president of the National Association of Realtors, which is located in Chicago, on North Michigan Way in Chicago, made a statement that never has in history has such a simple request to have photos of properties on your website been so collectively ignored and suppressed by real estate people. And so it's a simple thing to do, and it's a very reasonable request considering the fact that you have good commission dollars that you're making from these things. So for residential brokers to have a website with thousands of residential homes with color photos, all in a way that you get the calls, that's important today. You're staying up with the times if you do that. For commercial brokers, now that you have a website, you add the number one thing that everyone on the internet is looking for is listings. And you add a link. You can actually add a link to a World Brokers network of haves and wants, You can trigger calls from Florida on Florida properties. Can you do a referral to an Orlando broker? If somebody calls you, comes to your website, clicks on, let's say, a button that says Ontario Commercial, even though you're residential, and they want to know more information on that property in Florida that you've got on your website, can you call that broker in Florida and say, I have a lead for you? How much does it cost you to call Florida?
Free on assessment.
Next to nothing. And then you ask them, you say, listen, I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral fee okay with you? Now, if you don't have those listings on your website, you can't trigger a call. The moment you put it on, the very next person that goes to your website and sees it, bingo, it's like fishing. It's like connecting electrical wiring so that the light goes on. The light on for generating leads. Because 96% of the people are searching for listings. All right. Oopsie. Oh, I just went back too far. Okay. Actually, how am I going to do this now? Oh, yes, I can just get right to, I press the home button and I got myself out of where I wanted to be, but I can get back real fast. So what I'm going to do now is show you some websites that have what I call the power to do all of this good stuff. And how come it's not there? Okay, so I'm running, did they go? Oh yes, here we are. Okay, let's open these up. And that one we don't need, because we've already seen it. What's this we don't need? And so there's a sample website, one of them coming up. Now, I'm going to take a moment here. I was told I'm able to do a little 5-minute commercial. In return for doing these seminars, we can do a little bit of a commercial on ICI World. And one of the things we do is we supply these websites. In your documents, if you could please just pull up this one form because it'll show you what's included. There should be an application form in your documents. And if everyone can just go in there and find out, if you don't have the application, I've got extra ones here. You need it to look at to see what's included. You want to know something that's not even included in this one. Not there? I've got a bunch of them here. If you don't have one of these, you're going to just ask for it. I'll give you one. This is an application form in there. Okay, some of them didn't get it. I don't know why. Anyway. And you'll see that it's $240 per year down at the bottom. $240 per year to join our service. This is a special right now as of this seminar, this one-day seminar. And however, for every person that joins today, every person that joins today can actually, we add an extra month on to the membership, so it doesn't become a year. It becomes, the first person that joins, I give a 3-month bonus to. So it becomes 15 months for $240. Any more people need these? Okay, because it lists everything that's included. All right? So theoretically, if 9 more people join today, you can get a 2-year membership for $240 in ICI World. And if you look at the third bullet on the right-hand side, the third bullet, it says websites are free for 3 months, and then they're $19.99 per month. Now, a lot of the people that join don't pay that. They pay the special of $199 a year. You don't have to make that decision right now. You have the website. It's free for how long? 3 months. And how much is the membership in ICI World? If you were to join today, there's no obligation. $240. With a credit card, you would simply staple your don't staple your credit card, staple your business card to this form and simply put your credit card information here and give it to me personally at the end, and then you will effectively have joined. Now right now it's $240 for 1 year. The first person that joins will get 15 months, and then every person that joins after, I will add an extra month on. So if no one joins, you don't have to worry. If 1 person joins, it's 15-month service. If 2 people join, it's 16-month service. 3 people join, it's 17-month service to a maximum of 24 months. So theoretically, if 6 or 7 people join out of the group, then you're going to get a maximum of 24 months, 2 years for 240, okay? And it includes websites, and there's a sample of a website. Now, websites by themselves don't make you money, it's really the content. Now, I'm going to show you some commercial content, and then I really want to show you the residential content here in a moment. I click on the button, and you're going to see there's a statement at the top that says, we subscribe to a global commercial real estate broker center of haves and wants. If anything interests you, please feel free to give me a call. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. You're absolutely right about doing that. You can take out this other document that's in your folder. It's an actual picture of a website with the links that are on it. Now, let's say that link right there, let's say I took that link off of this website. I took it off. To all intents and purposes, the website looks exactly the same. Is that correct? The difference is that when I go down this page, and let's say I happen to go down and I happen to click on, say, Oshawa, that means that somebody that comes to your website would not see any of these listings. Okay? But there's lots of listings here in Oshawa. Now, if somebody is interested in one of these, maybe downtown Oshawa here, you're going to get a call, and people are going to say, I'm on your website. I'm interested in message number 207623 or whatever. Can you help me? And you should say, I certainly can. I will have someone call you back. And then you are going to get a hold of the broker that's got that listing. And you're going to say, I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral commission okay with you? That's a 5-minute phone call. It's averaging $3,000 to $10,000. Someday when you retire, would you mind doing the odd 5-minute referral once you are retired? That's exactly what this does. And you should keep your license active. Don't give up your license in real estate anymore if you retire. Keep it. Because this can trigger leads. You know how to do referrals. You just do a referral. The best one that I know of is Ted Davis in Peterborough. He's done 15 referrals over a 6-month period. 75 minutes of his time, and he made over $45,000 doing referrals. That's the best one I know of. You do one referral, it just paid for a lifetime of service at $240 per year. Hit the back button once. Now, we talk about promoting a website with search engine optimization. If you have this on your website and you're talking to people, you should tell people you've got restaurants on your website, you've got property, you've got duplexes and triplexes, you've got all these kinds of properties on your website, you've got apartment buildings in Ontario. You've got all of that on your website. You've got a world commercial button, but I'm going to click on residential. And let's see what's happening here. And let's just move that up a bit. Let's see what happened here. Click on it again. It's chugging away down at the bottom. And bingo, he's got listings throughout the whole of the GTA on his website. I'm going to show you how to have an Oshawa button, a Whitby button, Prince Edward, all this county and all that stuff. But you tell me if that isn't a gorgeous photo on the screen. I call it the ultimate in marketing on the internet. It's simple. It's easy. People can search by price. They can search many different ways. It's very sophisticated. I'm at the very beginning of showing it to you. You tell me if that isn't a gorgeous photo. Your picture, your name will be over there on the right-hand side. People know that you belong to a big, big network. They know all these properties. You can't have every single one of these properties listed. Other brokers have agreed to allow their listings to be on your website. We call it a handshake. When you join the service, you will have no listings when you start. But it'll say, there'll be a thing that says there's 400 brokers who have agreed to allow their listings to be on your website. Do you want to approve them or disapprove them? So you click on approve, and presto, all these listings appear on your website within a half an hour. Now you've got content. If you have no listings now, you need this desperately. You have no listings. You're out of business, really, if you have no listings. But if you have listings on your website, you're in business. How much does it cost to get this? $240. The website is free for how long? 3 months. After that, how much would it be if you want to keep it? $19.99. I'm telling you now, at one time, as a broker and as doing the service, these websites, guys used to pay $10,000 to $30,000. I know brokers that paid it because they wanted photos, interior photos that people can see. Now it's down to $19. That's incredible to have this kind of content being delivered. Let's just see something more here to make it more relevant to you. Let's back it up here. There's a home search button, home evaluation, calculators, buying and selling. If I clicked on buying, there's going to be little things that people can click on. Buying your first home, avoid common buying errors and stuff like that. And you'll notice there's also a search MLS listings button. Let's click on it. Now, if you search the MLS, it's going to take you right to the MLS and show addresses, isn't it? Is that good? No. Your customer goes right to MLS and then buys a property from another broker. Is that good? No. But if you want them to go to MLS and you still feel good about that, this is one way to do it. You can set it up so that they simply register for access to the MLS. So they go through you. This sends a text message immediately to you, so you know who just went to the MLS. This, the best you can do, people, you can't put them in a little spot and say, that's my client, you ain't going anyplace. You can't do that. But what you can do is call them up on the phone and offer you services. Say, I noticed you were just on my website. You might need some service for some of those MLS listings that you're looking at. We have a way of getting you pre-qualified for a mortgage. There's a lot of neat little things. Would you like to hear me, all the little things that we can do for you to kind of help you make your home buying purchase easier. And so this gives you the opportunity to that person to do that. That's okay. Let's move on to another one. Here's another website. $199 a year. Isn't that incredible? I mean, not only does it look nice, I mean, we could talk designs, nicer, better. I'm not into that. That's not what I'm here about. I'm here about listings. I'm here about to show you how you have Durham homes, GTA homes. You've got that on your website. So you can click on this. Let's click on Durham homes and let's see what comes up. And the more people that are on it, it just gets better and better and better. Let's just go down. Click on something here. I don't know, here's a bungalow in Port Perry. Just, I don't know, click on it just for fun, see what comes up. Isn't that neat? Showing the land that people could be buying. I call it the ultimate in marketing on the internet. It gives people a flavor of what's going on here. People love to see this stuff. Isn't this gorgeous? Let's back out of here. GTA homes you'll have. You'll also have a home search button. I'm going to click on it. And this is a website that delivers home to people. It delivers it to them by email. So people can subscribe. And you can put in, I'm going to use my email address. One of them. And I don't know, I'll just maybe kind of leave it open. I could put in a price range just for fun. Maybe I'm going from, I don't know. What should I go from, 150 to 300 or something? I don't know, I'll go with just to have a little demonstration of see what comes up. And then I can specify locations. I can specify Hastings County, Northumberland, Peterborough, Prince Edward County. Where's Durham? Okay, thank you. And then, okay, and so Durham's not showing up here.
Oshawa.
Oshawa, oh, sorry. Okay, thank you so much. Click on Oshawa. And there's Oshawa. Okay, so I'm going to highlight Oshawa, make all that solid. But if people only wanted to be in a certain neighborhood in Oshawa, They could select to receive homes in that certain neighborhood only. They might wait 6 months, bingo, get a home on one day and say, that's the one for me. And should we maybe include Whitby just for fun? For some of the people that are here? Hang on. Okay. And I don't want to receive extra information, but that's the button that they would uncheck if they don't want to receive it. Click on the OK.
This search works only with the people that are signed up with.
That's correct. Only the people that are part of this network.
Okay.
And bingo, up comes these homes. So any new homes will actually get sent out to people by email. They click on it, boom, they can be searching homes. So, to me, this is like classified ads in the newspaper as far as I'm concerned. When you put your ad in the classified ads of the Toronto Star, how much does it cost with a photo? $90? This is like advertising, and other brokers are advertising, really, all of the listings of all of you. You're all advertising each other's listings. That's 1,000 entry points on the internet for your listings if you had this. You tell me if that isn't the ultimate in marketing. Isn't that doing the best job for the owner of the property to get the maximum exposure in the marketplace today? You include this in your marketing plans. That's all we're suggesting. Just include it. Don't change anything else that you're doing. Just include this. Okay, let's back out of here. Buying and selling, home evaluation, GTA homes. You can have GTA homes, but you're going to see some other ones here where Marion Hijack, he's got some properties here. He's more commercial. Keller Williams website. Another one here, Oshawa Homes again. Oshawa commercial in this case. He kind of likes that. All right, let's click on, see if there is any Oshawa commercial listings come up. Just for fun. There they are. Now, you know, you can be a residential agent. If you get a call on that particular church property, what are you going to do? Somebody inquire and say, I'm on your website, I'm interested in that church property on your website. Can you help me? What are you going to say? Yeah. I'll get back to you. I'll have someone call you back. You call the other broker. So what you have is a license that allows you to do referrals as well. And everybody's been overlooking it because you've never had a method, a modem, a way to generate these leads off the internet. It's the listings that generate the leads off the internet. Whitby, Hastings, Prince Edward. Let's go. You can make buttons for anything you want. It's totally customizable by you. We used to send these websites out with instructions. Do you think that everybody did all the instructions to set up the website? That's a question. No. So now we made a decision to totally set these things up for you. So we actually set them up for you. Let's go back here.
And so do you update them on a...
The listings are actually updated by each of you on a regular basis. If you do not log into your website for a 90-day period, your listings will go inactive to protect against old and expired listings that should have been taken off. The thinking being, if you don't log into your website, then you're not looking after your listings. We recommend you log into your website a minimum of once a month. That's all you have to do. When you get these websites, some people say, I got to sit at the computer every day, my hands are full. No, 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 no. This is a billboard. It's setting out on the internet all by itself, updating itself, 50 to 100 new listings every single day, and you don't have to do a thing except 3 things. The first one is you've got to log into it once a month minimum. If you don't log into it, it can go inactive. Number 2, if you get a listing, you should put it on there. And number 3, when you log in that once a month, there's a little to-do list in here that'll say there's a bunch of handshakes. Other brokers have joined the network. Would you allow their listings to be on your website? And most brokers, because of the growth of this thing, they're logging in once a week to approve them. If 100 brokers join the service and allow their listings to be on your website, a customer comes to your website and you haven't approved them, could you be missing doing deals and not even know it? Because if you approve them and they spotted a listing, bingo, it triggers a call. So the whole thing is, you know, it's intelligence on the internet for us to kind of take advantage of things.
How quickly it would have sold, come on, so someone wasn't phoning up or something?
Yeah, and everybody marks their listing sold. As a matter of fact,
It's up to the agent?
the agents mark their listing sold. Yes. Hastings, Prince Edward. Let's click on that one. So these are, it just gets better and better. It's another form of advertising. $199 a year. How the heck can you go wrong? And with the membership, and I say, well, we show you how to do everything. We totally set it up. Telephone technical support. It's great. We have 1,000 members doing it now. Okay, let's just move on here. The other third thing that you have to do, I mentioned two, you have to log into it and update your listings, put your listings on. The third thing is promoting your website becomes a lifelong thing for you. How many people have a website and don't have it, or you don't have a website address on your business card? You don't have to put up your hands. If you don't have a website address on your business card, you're missing the simplest, easy, best way to be promoting what it is that you do. I'll give you an example. And I'm going to give the example by handing out this business card in two different ways. Way number 1 and way number 2. And you tell me which way is more effective. Okay? Here we go. Pretend I'm the, I just had lunch in a restaurant. You're the restaurant owner. Thank you for being my person to use. And I finished eating, and I come up to the front counter, and I'm paying the bill. Okay? And I pull out my business card, and I say, oh, by the way, the meal was great. I really enjoyed it. I'll be coming back with my wife again. And by the way, I happen to be in real estate. I have a website with listings on it, and if you feel free to give me a call. And if you're ever thinking of maybe selling your restaurant or buying a restaurant or have colleagues, I've got 200 restaurants on my website. Feel free to give me a call. Okay? Actually, that was part of way number 2. Way number 2. Way number 1 is basically giving out your business card and saying, I have a website. That's way number 1. Way number 2. I had a great time. It was a wonderful meal. I really enjoyed the service. The meal was terrific. I'll be coming back again. And by the way, if you're ever thinking of buying or selling a restaurant, I have over 200 restaurants on my website with 20,000 commercial properties you might be interested in, you or your colleagues. And I also have thousands of homes with color photos and slideshow displays. If you're ever thinking of something that's free for you to go and browse, you can even select to have them delivered to you, homes that match your description. Feel free to give me a call anytime. It was great. I'll be back. Which way is more effective? Way number 1, way number 2? Why is way number 2 more effective? Value-added services. What else? Come on, keep telling me.
Chances are somebody will buy real estate as a residential.
Residential real estate, you're telling them what's on your website. If you see a website address on a park bench, does that get you excited to go to that website when you get back to the office? No, you haven't got the time for that stuff. But, okay, the people that deal in commercial, who can you put up? Anybody work with builders at all? Builders? Okay, a builder. You go to a builder's meeting, picture this, and you're sitting at a table with 5 builders. And you know how you're introducing yourself and you're handing out your business card. And you say, oh, by the way, I have 700 pieces of infill sites throughout Toronto and the Greater Toronto region. Subdivision potential, condo, townhouse sites, if you're ever interested in it. Visit my website, they're all listed. I'm telling you, all those builders will want your business card so bad. 90% of them are not on real estate boards, by the way. I haven't covered that, and we may not have enough time to cover it because we're getting 14 minutes away from finishing. So these are ways to generate extra business off the internet. And if you don't have that link on your website, can you be missing doing deals and not realize it? Oh, yes. Keep the gardening. Okay, thank you. All right, let's move on here. I'm going to have to move it right down to, about here. Okay. Let's mark this down. Okay, search engine optimization. There's 40 different ways really to promote your website. Search engine optimization is just one way. If we had enough time, if we ever come back again, I'll get into with more details. I actually have a slide that we could go through today if we had to. But we provide an exclusive video that can actually help you promote your website in many, many different ways. Websites, again, are like billboards. It should have, your website should have color photos, slideshows. Clients can actually email the listings right from your website to other people. Automatic delivery of new listings to your clients and your prospects should be a function of your website. And then that way, without the address, clients must call you for more information. We've covered the website philosophy and how to hand out business cards. Referrals, it's one thing better than listing and selling real estate. Why? Because they're only 5 minutes to do and they can make so much money. Especially structured so you get the calls. That was my 5-minute commercial there, just coming up on the screen. Knowledge of how to make all of this work, even if you don't use a computer, if you don't touch a computer, and you don't know how to turn a computer on, all of this stuff can be set up for you because it's on the internet, working automatically. It's also a powerful listing tool when people can list their properties with you and know that you're going to have exposure second to none, including in Google. When you put your listings on these particular websites, your listing will actually be in Google. You can make up open house presentations. Links, by the way, that link to all of these commercial listings you can put on all your websites. They're like billboards. They help you every step of the way. We've got people going that couldn't even push a mouse. And Gary Rohrbeck, anybody know him? Gary Rohrbeck, he's blind. He's a member on our service. He shows property, he gets somebody to hire, he takes them around in a car, and takes the leads and goes and shows people properties in a car with an assistant, pays an assistant. In marketing, you should use every fiduciary, it's a fiduciary responsibility to try to use every reasonable outlet to market your properties. Otherwise, you could be letting some people down. One broker, in the case of commercial, placed a $4 million shopping center on Trev. He got 4 calls. He's placed it on ICI World. He got over 30 calls and sold it. All the guys that are on the network know that. Does that mean you don't belong to services? Absolutely not. You belong to all of these important services. You never know where your next transaction is coming from. For the commercial guys, the internet presents, we've covered some of these courses, introductory courses to commercial. A lot of people don't realize that there's 2 databases on ICI World. Database 2 are FSBOs. A lot of people don't know about that. 13,000 people have placed information in database number 2. However, the only people that can read information in database 2 are the members of the service. Okay? And you have to be a member to post your information in database 1, where the public can read it. We're, on the front page in Google, 50,000 readership and 10,000 emails going out a day. There are testimonials in your package. You'll see all the deals being done. One interesting last thing that we're going to finish with is that there's 26,000 listings on ICI World, but only about 5,000 are on MLS, on real estate boards. This is the #1 service where you can work opening exclusive listings. And I can ask everyone a real question. How many people here actually that do commercial actually have listings on a real estate board of a commercial nature? Okay, can you tell me how many listings you have on a real estate board of a commercial? Just shoot out a number. How many listings do you have on a real estate board of a commercial nature? 3. 3? 1? 1? Anybody else? 1? 2. Okay. By the way, people, you are all in the national average. The national average is that the average real estate salesperson who does some commercial real estate has less than 5 listings on a real estate board.
Question.
Yes.
I do resorts worldwide.
Yep.
And they are commercial.
Yep.
They're not residential, and they're difficult to put because when people go on for commercial, they're looking for apartments, they're looking for shopping complexes, raw land. They're not thinking that resorts are commercial.
Resorts are commercial, you're absolutely right. We have special sections for that on ICI World. Now, I'm going to ask you another question. Has anybody here ever had someone say to them, I'd like to sell my property, but I don't want to give you a listing? How many in this room? I want to see you. Okay, virtually everyone? Is there anyone never had that happen to? Okay, everyone's had that happen where somebody says, I want to sell my property, but I don't want to give you a listing. Has anybody drove by some signs in town that has for sale by owner on it? There's a restaurant pad down on the 401. I drive up, it says restaurant pad. On the 401 coming up. When I was driving up today from Toronto. It was, and Paracom, now leasing. Is that their name? There's different private properties being sold all around here. Those are great opportunities for you people. Now, how do you handle open and exclusive listings? Well, ICI World is not a real estate board listing service. It's an information service. It is more like classified ads in a newspaper. It's an information service. But to handle open and exclusive listings, there's 3 questions that you can ask an owner that has been working as smooth as a baby's bum since 1994, since we started this service. This Have and Want information service grew out of a group of commercial brokers, just like yourselves here, where somebody would stand up and say, I have this available. I haven't got it listed, but I know about it. I know the owner will sell. Have you got a buyer? I'll go get the listing to cover our showing. And they get together and they go off and do deals. Those are the 3 questions. Number 1, you ask the owner, whenever you see that situation, will he pay a commission? Does anybody have a problem with that question? No? Next question. You ask the owner, will they cover you with a 48-hour exclusive listing once you have a buyer? No problem? That's important. Because even though we work open and exclusive information does not mean that you don't put an agreement in place first before showing the property or before divulging the address of a property. The 3rd question is 2 parts. Each part is very important. Is it okay to advertise it, but you tell them you're going to do it without the address? If it's a restaurant, is he going to give you permission to advertise it? If you name the restaurant, put it on the internet for sale? No way. But if you tell them it's just going to be restaurant, $300,000, Durham area, making money, and you show him the ad, do you think he says, well, if you need that to get me a buyer, I'll give you permission for that? That's a different story. That opens up the whole market for you. All of those private for sales in the whole area become your inventory now to the person that goes and asks them that question. You get that information, you put it on here. One broker, he put a 33,000, he was driving down in Scarborough, saw a sign, 33,000 square feet. Called up the owner, he got the information. He put it on ICI World and he got a call 2 weeks later. The first thing they did was, do you mind if I have the address? I'd like to drive by. Would you give it to him? No. So he made a statement, well, in this particular case, I have to put an agreement in place first before showing you the property or before divulging the address of the property. If it's okay with you, come to my office next Wednesday at 12 o'clock, or is 1 o'clock better for you, and I'll take you and show you the property. What would you do on the Tuesday, the day before? You go get yourself a 24-hour, 48-hour, 5-day, something in writing listing to cover your showing. He did that. He showed the property on a Saturday. The people bought it. He said, he told me, Gary, he says, I spent a total of 2 hours on this and I made $50,000. But he also provided a great service to that buyer and to the owner. Now, these for sale by owners, these homes, could you not do something similar like that too? Because on those websites I failed to show you, some of them were MLS, some of them were exclusive. You can talk to the owner of one of these properties, get the okay to put it on here. Because if you're not an agent, you can't put it on here. You could start, say, cleaning up in the area, if you want to use a unprofessional term, but basically that's what you can start doing. There's an evaluation form in your files. if you could fill it in now. They're also going to be asking you for an evaluation. I wouldn't mind if you could find the evaluation in your form. Is it in your form, the evaluation sheet? Now, I'll tell you, for doing these seminars, I really do appreciate your feedback. What you liked about the seminar, any suggestions, comments that you have, anything that you feel that you kind of learned. If you don't mind sort of just filling that evaluation, just taking 30 seconds to a minute, and just filling in the evaluation form, I really would appreciate that. There's actually more stuff we could cover, but I'm comfortable and happy of some of the information that I've covered today because I felt the responsibility to try to enlighten you to a lot of different things. Thank you very much, by the way. As far as anyone that wants to join the network, you just, you've already done it. Thank you very much. Welcome aboard. That's 15 months service. Okay, anybody else to join? I'm sorry?
Who won the free website?
Oh, free websites. I've got 3 of them right here. And we got another one joined. We're up to 16 months. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Forgot to get your hand. Thank you so much. 3. Okay, let me staple that. Welcome aboard. What happened to the stapler? Right here. So 3, we're up to 16 months service. What was the other question I got?
Free website.
Okay, absolutely. You bet. Okay, stapler, ready to go. Husband and wife team, there's a special way to do the website with husband and wife team, and just one of the 2 of you would join us. Okay, very good. Oh, excellent. Another one. Which people like we're going to have 2 years? I'm going to say right now it's a 2-year service for the 240 for ICI World. Website is free for 3 months and then 19 months. What you'll be doing is simply calling our office on Monday and watch your email. Janet in the office does the websites. We will be having another session at 1 o'clock. Free draw. Oh, free draw. That's what I was missing. Thank you. I knew there was something, and I appreciate that. Okay, here we go. Leanne Hathaway. Congratulations. Way to go. Were you getting ready to sign up? Oh, so I didn't lose you. Okay, we got another one. Teresa Hilton. Teresa, did you sign up? No. Okay, good. And we have Leanne Hathaway. Oh, sorry, I just said that. Sorry, Lorne Hartford. Lorne? Very good. Okay, so what you do, I'm putting these in my wallet. You just call the office and say, I'm one of the winners. That's all you have to do is call the office, say, I'm one of the winners. Sit in front of your computers. Everything is done in your office over the phone, people. Okay? It's all done in your office over the phone. You sit in front of the computer, call us, and we get you going right over in your office over the phone. Okay? Right here. Thank you very much for the opportunity today to speak to you. And thanks a lot to the Education Committee and all the people working so hard here to make everything happen. Yes, sir. Question?
No. She's, yeah, she's got a bit of cough.
Yes?
She was up last night.
There's ways to tie it all.